What's up? I don't know what the context of that lighting. Is that a material or something? Do 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 new. Oh no. The fuck? How strange. What a strange little thing that's happening right now. What'd I do? What is this? Very weird. Very, very weird. Coughing. If I do this.
Hello?
Victor, what's up?
What's up?
So what you posted a screenshot lighting, enable lighting, constant lighting. What is that from?
Yeah, from a material.
Don't tell me a goddamn material. I know it's from a material. I mean, what material is it from?
Oh, specifically.
Like, yeah, specifically. I can't just like type in material and be like, oh, that's the one. Look at every material and be like, oh, that's the material.
Like
What is this son of a gun
billboard,
doing?
something.
Okay, what's an object that has on that fucking has it, you freak?
Probably a colorist. And
Jesus Christ,
like
guy.
any monsters.
Okay. Git is not installed. Blah 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 blah. The amount of time I'd spend fucking waiting. I'm live, by the way. If you didn't know, so don't like be like, don't talk about your pedophilia. Don't. You'll get in trouble. How do you feel about Russia invading Ukraine?
I'm not right.
Not worried.
What?
You say you're not worried?
No, I said not great.
I said I'm not worried. I'm like, well, I don't care. Yeah. I'm like, okay. All right, man. You're like, I'm not worried, bro. Like, fuck Putin. You're like, fuck that guy. Okay. No, it's not good. If you try to play the current build and press new game, does it work correctly?
Not in the editor. I get that thing as well.
But in the regular one, it works fine for you?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's
There's something with the scene not being unloaded or something.
yeah, I must not have caught that edge case. Because specifically in the editor, I'm unloading things slightly differently.
Oh.
Yeah, but I bet because when you start from like Tyler scene or Victor scene, it's like a sort of different than when you start from the main menu. So there's like a edge fix thing. I don't know if it's just this. I'm just gonna keep coughing forever. I'm never gonna stop coughing. I hate with the new Unity Hub update. The Unity Hub doesn't close when you open the project, and then I always have to close it. I don't know if you've updated yet. It's just the Unity Hub.
I mean, I kind of like that because I always keep opening it again if when it closes automatically.
Why do you reopen it?
So if I need to close Unity and open it back up, I can.
How often do you do that? Do you just like having a
I
bunch of stuff up? Like I never do that. And when I do, I'm just like, oh, I'll just click on Unity again.
No.
You just keep all your stuff open all the time? Just in case?
No.
I see this worked. Because I hate it. Because then I have to. Because I all the time have to like, you know, open up like the like Rider or something, then go back to Unity, and then if there's two Unity icons, I just click the wrong one half the time.
No.
Or Chrome or whatever, you're switching back and forth between stuff. Do. Yeah, Russian invading Ukraine's kind of weird, right? Like you watch videos of it, you're like, whoa, what is this? Is this like from a movie right now?
Yeah. It's,
Like I didn't know this sort of stuff still happened.
yeah.
Imagine having like fucking fighter jets fly over like your house, and then you see them like bomb a train station or something. I don't know the specifics of what has been bombed, but I saw something got bombed. Let me try this now. Let's see if this fixes. So far, so good. Yeah, that's all it is. Interesting. This doesn't work when starting a new game from the menu.
Where's my Unity hub gone all of a sudden?
I don't know. Did you delete it? Skip. What should I do? What should I do? Guys, I'm never gonna stop coughing, dude. I wonder if I took another COVID test, if it would be negative. I feel like it'd have to be negative by now, because it's been 15 days since I first had symptoms.
No.
So I feel like I can no longer be sick. But I'm still like recovering from all the crap your body does, like produce phlegm.
No.
Jeez. Maybe I could make a color queen or something like that. I'm never gonna stop coughing, bro. I'm telling you right now. This is it for me. I'm gonna die here. Live. And you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Didn't that Elden Ring game come out?
Yeah.
What is that game? Is that like
Like Dark Souls and Breath of the Wild.
is it made by the Dark Souls people?
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. In what way is it like Breath of the Wild?
Like the open world.
But isn't Dark Souls always kind of open world? So I guess what's different about this open world?
Not really. They have like sort of.
Okay, I mean, I played Dark Souls before, so like, so what's more open world about this?
This is pretty much you can move more freely, like in Breath of the Wild.
Huh.
The previous games have sort of a path you need to follow.
Right, they're pretty linear, but it's still like, but you still just kind of wander in an open world, like, kind of aimlessly.
Yeah, but not like the same scope, really.
Right.
And here you can ride horses and shit. So it's
shit!
like the scale is bigger.
I don't really like open world stuff as much. I like it when it's smaller in scale, to be honest. So it gets too big, and then it's not really fun anymore.
I don't know. I like the open world. It's like I can just explore forever.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about exploring a fantasy world. Like, I just want to do whatever's fun in the game. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, there's something fun in the game. I want to do that thing.
I just get immersed, and then I just want to be in the world and just walk around. And
I never care about that. Unless it's a really immersive world. You know, like the first time I played DayZ or something like that, where it's like, whoa, this is so, like, real.
Yeah.
But if it's a world like Just Cause or something, I'm like, I don't care about the open world. It doesn't do anything for me, really. I mean, the purpose of the game is just going to be more an open world, but I don't like go around exploring things. Like, I remember being a kid and playing Ocarina of Time and, like, talking to every single villager. And, like, innkeeper and knowing, like, these random things, and because, you know.
Yeah.
Like, the newest Halo is open world, and I kind of wish it wasn't. But also, I mean, the Halo format doesn't fit that well for it. Because you don't, like, get new stuff. You get, like, kind of new abilities, kind of, but it's not really. So you're just kind of wandering, and then you're like, oh, here's this thing, and here's the other thing.
Yeah, man, the best part about Breath of the Wild is, you know, finding some secret thing, new weapons, and just cool stuff.
Exterminator. Nice. Why not? No colonists assigned Space Pilot. Does anyone love Space Pilot? Space Pilot? Space Pilot? Space Pilot? Space Pilot? Space Pilot? Nobody. But you can be a good Space Pilot. Why not? Space Pilot. Space Pilot. What do you even do in this game? Let's see. I need a research station. Let's warp out of this
do like a
tutorial.
speed run.
What's the end condition? What's the end state?
Research everything.
So then you would just place a bunch of research stations, you know?
Oh, well, I guess you would need to place it as well.
What do they want?
Build it.
Galarium. They literally just want 3 Galarium. Is that real life right now? Because I can get 3 Galarium so quick. I'm never gonna stop coughing. I'm gonna die here, and then that'll be that. So, unlock the food. Unlock the food. Unlock the seed. Why not? The water. Why not? More water. More why nots. Bullets. Medkits. This. No, not unlock the alcohol. Stabilizers. Fuel. Fuel. I could probably sell the fuel. I'll probably do that. Sell fuel. Sell fuel. If I put it like here. This cool little spot. Now someone needs to construct. Someone needs to build for me. Nothing being researched. What should I do first? Maybe food? I need batteries for sure. You researching? Research.
I'm not
research,
like
research,
a huge
research.
fan of the current like starting station layout. I feel like you build the same thing like all the time. Every time.
Well, expanding is kind of a pain. So you're going to take the spots that are provided for you. And there's 4 of them. But I mean,
Yeah,
most
but it
people are
becomes,
probably going to tend to do the same things every time. Like no matter who you are, if you have like one layout, you probably tend to do it the same way every time. Like that's how I am in like the Sims houses. I'd always play them the same way. Because there's some way that makes sense in your head, and then so you're going to do that every time.
Yeah. But here's so specific because you build like in the corners. And that's pretty much it.
I don't build in the corner. Well, I guess it depends what you mean by the corners. Like I expand off the airlocks, but I don't just like play. It's like the way I play it is different than the way you play it, but I always play it consistently within myself every time. Is that a bad thing? I don't know, but it's just like, but as a fact, you know. Let's go food brick. It's kind of weird that you unlock crops in the left of the tech tree before waste recycler. It's sort of weird. It's a weird thing. So we could push it to the right. If we add like a fertilizer dispenser or something like that, it means nutrition bricks, and you use nutrition bricks to grow crops or something, then it could be pushed to the left maybe and make the food stuff a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. God, just all the coughings. Coughing. I had an idea for something that silicon could be used for, and I can't remember now. Or maybe data chips could be like used for fuel as a crypto miner or something, for the crypto miner or something like that, maybe.
No.
But I don't know. I don't really like that you sell, everything. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Maybe level 2. What do I need? Like beds and stuff? What do people need? Beds? Let's put a bathroom in a spot I don't normally put a bathroom. I'll put it over here. A little bathroom. Let's do that. A little bathroom. Maybe you should start the game with more floors too or something. That might be fun. Put a little private bathroom right here. Something like this. Give it some interesting shape. Like that. There. There. And lights too, huh? Light. I need a treadmill and stuff too. See, early game you like treadmill and stuff. You're like, I don't really care that much, you know. Treadmill room? Treadmill room? Treadmill room? Power room? Power room? There. Treadmill? Treadmill?
What if you put like the treadmill in the sleeping, like in their bedroom?
I could. Alright. It's weird that the toilet is not related to the waste recycler for like tech tree purposes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
Just it's like the poop object should lead to the object that, you know, handles poop.
Yeah.
You'd think at least, right?
Yeah. But then it would have to be in the food category.
Right, which is also kind of weird, isn't it?
Weird. Yeah.
How do we deal with the comments? I don't know. I mean, comments are usually fair, to be honest, for Steam reviews.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. Usually we just look at them, look for like, you know, because when people complain, there's still, no matter what they're complaining about, there's still some kernel of truth in what they're, you know, what they're saying. They might not be, you know, articulating it in a way that's nice, but, you know. Yeah. But mostly we're just, you know, we just work on the game and it's getting better, so I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, better reviews would be, you know, better to have, but, you know, we're still working on the game and we're still making it better, so we're not really too like caught up in it. Sometimes when you see like the Epic Game Store doesn't have like reviews and stuff, you're like, oh, I kind of get it. But I don't really know. Without like reviews are weird, man, because it's not like they're dishonest, you know. Like a review itself isn't dishonest. Plus, honestly, man, we got like or whatever. Might not be a man. I mean, we got enough money to like continue development for like several years. So yeah, Mitch got it. Tell Steam users to take a hike. So, you know, it's sort of fine. Because the alternative is that we didn't release the game, and then we just wouldn't get any money, and then we just had to, you know, wait. But eventually we got to release it just to get some more money, you know, and so, yeah. And you get more feedback too, and that's hard too, because, you know, you really need to get a lot of people to play the game and give you feedback, and see what they find fun. Because all you can really do as a developer is just guess. You do your best guess, right? Because you're like, I think this is fun, but, you know, you don't really know. What are you freaks doing? What the hell are you building? Oh, now you're like, I'll build these walls. Now I'll build these last two walls because floors have priorities. Get the hell out of here. I need wires, huh? Wires. Wires. Boom. Okay. What, I need a toilet? I'm almost out of money. I'm almost out of money, dog. And I need water storage. Should I go waste recycle? I could sell the food, actually, or the fuel, rather. 4,000. Yeah. Yeah, that is true, man. Because, like, sometimes people, you know, I mean, we are charging people money. So ultimately, if the purpose of the review is if the purpose of the review is to tell another person, hey, do I think that you should spend $20 on this game? And they say yes or no. I mean, that's, from that perspective, it's like it's totally fair to review, right? Because they're spending their money. But yeah, there's a weirdness in games, right? Because like for $20 you could buy Starmancer, or for $20 you could buy probably like Dead by Daylight or something. You know, you could buy like so many. Well, Dead by Daylight's not quite AAA, but you could buy so many other games. So there's always that weirdness with games. But I mean, I feel like I would be okay with the game being free or something. I don't know. It doesn't really bug me. What are you guys doing? Selling fuel? Building toilets? Performing research? What's this here? Literally one wheat seed left, you little freaks. Performing mission. It's just me and Victor, just 2 people. So it's just 2-person dev team. See, so options. That's me, and Victor's also Victor's the disembodied voice that you can hear sometimes, I would imagine. So just 2 of us. We've been doing this for, I don't know. We've been making, how long have we been making Starmancer? I don't even know. 3 to 5 years, something like that? I never remember. I don't know.
Yeah, probably like 6, 7 years.
I don't know. Yeah, but it wasn't like full time, so it's sort of like a weird, the math gets weird sometimes, you know? Now, why didn't you take off your helmet, you sick freak? Maybe he doesn't care. Oxygen emitter. Here. But if we start the player with more like cosmetic options, that might be kind of fun. Because right now I feel like it's not enough, you know?
Yeah.
Like it takes so long. It takes so long to get like more cosmetic options. It's like, what's the point? And you don't really like even think about it eventually. Because it's like, you really can't.
Yeah, but just like more, like some starting like
Who's
chairs
my
and
miner?
tables.
Mine her. More starting. What was the comment that I made right before this?
There should be more starting cosmetics.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean chairs. I meant floor types, wall types. The player starts unlocked with. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't use most of these. So, for example, mesh floor and dark mesh floor, they're they're virtually the exact same. Test floor isn't really, in my opinion, it's not really usable for most things. It's kind of like a special case. The window floor is cool, but you overuse it. You know what I mean? It's like it's fine.
Yeah.
The standard floor versus the blocks floor, they're not versus the industrial floor. It's not that much different. You know what I mean? And then the wall panels, you have standard panel and half panel, dark panel. Dark panel is okay. And then foundation just kind of ugly, right? So you have like bulky, half panel, standard panel, industrial panel. They all kind of fit a similar use case as well. They all kind of look pretty similar. I mean, like standard versus like this half panels, pretty much the exact same. And then the bulky panel's is a little different, but it's not that much different. And because there's so many cosmetic options. There's like the sterile floors, for example, the sterile walls, just like as an example. There's the painted ones, like there's a way different. Whereas all the starting stuff is all it's kind of standard. I mean, the game's already moddable, by the way, Umbra Fox. So you can mod with like DLL stuff. You can edit like the XML files. There's no documentation for the mods though, so it's like, good luck with that. But it's technically like on the back end, it's moddable. So one day we can add like Steam Workshop support or something.
I mean, the bulky panel you can change the color of, so that makes a pretty huge difference.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That does make a pretty big difference.
And I think there should be, a floor that you can change the entire color of. I mean,
right. Like there's like the blocks floors, but those are very, very not changeable at all. There's the mesh floors, but again, I don't really think the mesh floors are great for most situations. Like it's not like a bathroom material, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like great for like industrial stuff, but it's not for like this sort of everyday sort of stuff. Yeah. Although maybe there's ways you can, I can make it work. That's all. I was just thinking like if the user started with more cosmetics, it could maybe be a thing to do, especially early game. You don't have anything to do. Low temperature. Nothing being researched. Low oxygen. Blah blah blah. What are the research again? Water storage. I should get the reclamation probe right quick. That's what I should get. That's right. Oh yeah, Victor, what did you think of last week's iPortal that I made? Was it now? Victor was telling me that it's actually better than anything he could have done. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why was it that you said that?
I don't know, just attention to detail, I guess.
The attention to detail. See? Attention to detail. Yeah, what are NFTs? How can we monetize NFTs in our game? Is there a way we can make money off NFTs? I don't exactly know technology, but I would like to make money. If I just don't build a bed, what happens? Anything?
We
You know,
can sell the colonist as NFTs.
just so you know, if you put the waste recycler next to the toilet, it doesn't need water pipes, and then the poopy will go right to it. So
Yeah.
even before you have pipes unlocked, you can do it. See, Grim Fandango gets it.
I do that all the time. And then I also placed food brick factory.
Yeah. Victor, oh, I need to make space for my food brick. Nah, it doesn't matter that much. We actually met on Grindr, to be honest, Grim Fandango. It wasn't Tinder. That's hurtful. Actually, we met on Christian Mingle, to be honest. Actually, we met on Farmers Only. Actually, we met on black.com. Wait, that's not the right one. What's the one where, like, that's the porn site? What's the one? There's definitely got to be, like, a... Anyway, we actually met because Victor was making a Minecraft mod with my friend, my IRL friend. And then I was like, well, this guy's got good art. Because I can't draw. And I was like, this guy's got good art. You could build a tool that creates sprites that are entirely new creators and sell them. Yeah, I feel like you could do that to make NFTs. I don't know anything about NFTs. Most of what I know about NFTs honestly comes from South Park. In like the COVID special or something, where Butters was trying to sell NFTs, and then people would buy like little things that reminded me of Neopets, kind of. And I was like, maybe this is what people. Wow, that's interesting. I haven't seen the new thinking thought bubble before for the auction emitter. That was fun. It's fun when I see new things, and I missed it.
I kept seeing like that temperature like thought bubble all the time. I was like,
That's because many of those objects got copy and pasted, and there's nothing like thought bubbles, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Parker Esquivel. Are you Parker Esquivel? It sounds like a squirrel or something. Parker Esquirrel. What are you sad about? I don't have a bed. Shut up. I sleep on your floor. Some people, man. What if I just never build beds? Will they ever like get that upset? I don't think they'll even get that upset, right? Also, I really need this Galarium so I can do a contract. What is this, ice? Ice? What, I sell ice? I don't want to just sell ice. Seems like a waste of money to sell ice. I can make it water soon. That's what I hate about selling resources, you know? There's always that weirdness to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Especially early game. You're like, well, I don't want to sell this ice because I can make it water, and the water sells for more. But you feel almost like you're wasting... You almost feel like you're misplaying or something, right? By selling ice. Until it's water. There's that weirdness to it.
And especially early game, because you can just sell all the medkits, all the, stabilizers, all the
As you should, by the way.
Ammo, yeah. And then you just have like a lot of money to
get started.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of okay.
Yeah.
Right? Sort of okay. I could sell water though right now, actually. Make more money that way. How is nobody working right now? Alright, there we go, finally. I can make some biomass. Last night I played Tarkov. I was just trying to memorize the locations of caches in the middle of the woods. Which was for like the most autistic-y thing. And I was just like wandering around, like getting lost in the woods in a game. I fucking hate that they store poop. The fuck, stop putting poop in places. I did the opposite as well. Just reset, add all, but not the poop. Let me do it with this one too. Add all, not poop. Then the poopy will go in the waste recycler eventually. We have one sprint dedicated to polishing up all this stuff, and then at which point in time it will all get polished up, but I hate it. I hate it so much. But no poopy. They're storing poopy. Eventually they're going to snag the bio waste. I could get another research thing. I kind of want to just put my waste recycler next to my thing, but I don't know. I don't know. So I could just move it right quick. It's going to not have power if I move it, though. I think I can put it right here. Pretty sure what I just did is fine. And then they'll work on it. Bio waste. Bio waste. Was Minecraft for a cell phone game? It was. The Minecraft days. I actually never like worked on the Minecraft mod with Victor. This would have been back in like 2010, 11, something like that.
Yeah. Wait, didn't you do something for it?
No, I did something for a kingdom sale. I made like a map editor or something like that.
I think Evan like was asking you about stuff because you're like, oh, I asked my friend, and he said like, oh, you do it like this, and
He might have asked me a question, but I never did any actual work. I never like did any work on it.
yeah, yeah,
Because I never made a Minecraft mod, so I wouldn't know that much about it.
yeah.
Or if I did, it was, just I dabbled or something like that. What does the food brick factory cost? 5K? Yes, please, Daddy-O. There it is. Already done. Got me some food bricks. Low power. Shut up. A power leech.
Oh yeah, you should merge the new monster sprites.
By the way, I should merge the new monster sprites. Okay.
You know.
What's new? Added more sprites animations. I see eyeball portal, rainbow mushroom. You're gonna have to tell me the implementation things. I see you added at least 3 rainbow mushroom models. So I assume it's supposed to randomize between them, something like that. I just need to know. That's all. Like
Yeah,
what's supposed to do. That's nothing. Ban. Hello, Electro Jelly. Does he have anything on him? He's got Space Rock on him. I could kill him and get someone high. I don't want to, though. He's going to eat up my power. That's okay, though, I think. There he goes.
Yeah.
Draining Daddy-O's power, oh. Harlight, Medlight, Sci-Fi for Doggle. That's, did someone just say something Swedish in chat, Victor? Do you know?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
Like, it's great with a bit of sci-fi Friday.
Do you know this person? They must know you're Swedish, or they just guessed or something, right?
I mean, yeah, I know every Swedish person.
No, I mean, I mean like that. I mean like it's like someone you know, like a friend or something of yours, or they were just like, I'm gonna speak in. Because what are the odds? Maybe they knew you were Swedish.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I'm asking. Like how, like, because because it's strange if someone would say something in Swedish. You're like, well, actually, Victor knows Swedish, without you knowing. Like, you know what I mean? Like he somehow might know who you are or something.
Yeah.
You can say something back in Swedish to him.
No.
You can whatever.
I don't know. Then I would have to come up with something.
Oh, Simon's a random player of the game who knows you're a part Swedish team. So there you go. See.
Yeah.
So he knew somehow because I was like, does he know you? How does he just start speaking Swedish? I saw some umlauts. I was like, maybe it's Swedish. I don't know. I only know like 2 words in Swedish. One is kvinna, which I believe means girl, right?
Yeah, woman.
Okay, so I was wrong. I was wrong, and I don't even know.
I mean, close enough.
It was pretty close. And Shabular, of course.
Yeah.
You say it.
Köttbullar.
Shabular. It's fine. It's pretty close. As long as people are, it's fine.
It's like they have more fancy pronunciation, like Bular.
Shabular. I'm bad at pronouncing things in English. So I'm not good at pronouncing things in general. Like I slur my words and stuff when I talk. So if you ask me to pronounce something in which I have like no frame of reference, like for a Swedish word or something, I have no chance.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to just punch this fucking slime, this electro jelly in the face. Okay. Well, I no longer need this stuff. I could sell. I don't really want to sell the med kits. I could sell bullets, because usually by the time you need bullets, it doesn't really matter that much, right?
No.
What does a water recycler cost anyway? What does that cost? Like
2K or 1K or something. Very cheap, I think. Or
It should be under
5K?
science, right? It is 5K.
Oh.
I kind of need water storage though too. First, actually, I should get the rec probe. I still haven't gotten that, I don't think. So let's get the rec probe. Rec probe. Dude, it snowed a lot this morning, by the way, for me. Several inches, like 3 to 5 inches of snow probably, which is something in centimeters, like 6 to 9 centimeters, something like that, right? Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't snowing last night at all. Like, when I was asleep, it wasn't snowing, and then I woke up and there was so much snow.
Yeah, it's so weird. Here it keeps like melting, and then it comes back, and then it melts, and it comes back.
You son of a gun. It's going to run out of power. I might be able to fix this. Come on, baby. Come on. You son of a bitch. Damn it, I didn't do it in time. This jelly consumes so much power.
Yeah.
And we just have the small battery. It takes like 1,000 power. We have 1,000. You just want us to like punch him real quick and be like, "Can I murder you? Could I unalive you, please?" I don't want to sell 1K worth of stuff though. How much more ice?
Like 4 batteries.
Whoa,
Or
there's a
3 batteries
monopoly
is
here.
like the sweet spot.
Hey man, she has to print, Mitch. Her job is important. Mitch says, "Man, what's wrong with people? Lady at work just emailed me, my boss's boss, and our CIO, and marked the message as high priority because her printer is out of toner. But if she can't do her job effectively, Mitch, and she's a high priority employee, you ever think of that, Mitch? I think you should apologize to her live on stream. We'll call Mitch in. We should have call-ins, Victor." The dumbest thing.
Yeah. And then present like the color.
What is this song? Okay. Electro Jelly. Is the Electro Jelly not being lit correctly, or are they just self-lit?
Yeah, they're self-lit.
Because they're Electro Jellies, of course.
Mm.
So duh, they make their own energy source. Duh. Let's see, if I was water. Wait, I have 12 money to my name. How is that possible? Time until return 0. Okay. I need to build a waste or a water recycling room. So I'll put that over here. I'll make this mesh. That guy's Swedish. Are you friends? That's funny. Okay. I made my water recycling room a lot larger than I had to. It was quite unnecessary what I just did. I need an oxygen emitter as well, and let's put it in here now. And then, oh, this thing needs oxygen too, doesn't it? Put this one here. Cool. Low oxygen, low oxygen, low oxygen. So here's the thing with the color queen is, can the player capture the color queen?
Mm.
Or do they just have to mark it before it makes a color nest? It's a good question, right?
Yeah.
If they can catch it, how do they catch it? Like, how do they, you know?
Knock it out and drag it.
Could give it a context option to knock out, actually. Then you could drag it, why not? But then what's preventing it from making a nest that once it regains consciousness?
Maybe they need to like grab like metal to make a nest or something.
What if the players have metal,
like,
though?
Idea yesterday, like, what if cuddlers, like space slugs, they attach to a colonist, and then they force the colonist to build a nest, and then the nest, you know, the queen, like.
That could be interesting. You're suggesting they would take over the colonists and then basically brainwash them, control them, something like that, and then they make a nest and then spawns more color brethren. That is interesting. And maybe. Yeah. That's sort of fun. It's wet and smelly. What's like a way we could move away from? See, not quite build costs. So I don't know if I like build costs. I don't know. But it would be good to, like, I would like to move away from the current game design where the player is incentivized to just make, like, let's say as much metal as they can and always sell it, right? And then just amass a massive amount of stuff that they don't even really care about. And then also things like silicon don't really fit that great, you know? Because let's say there was a build cost, right? So metal was a build cost? Fine. What the hell is silicon for? Could be a fuel, or thought of as a fuel, rather. Could also be a build cost, of course, for more advanced things.
Yeah.
Like anything that has, wires or something would require, let's say, some silicon or something like that. Like Galarium has a good enough position right now because it's because of its uses for chemistry and medicine. You know, so you've got like some good purpose for it. You're not really getting it for money. Oh, that's stalling. But you know, I don't know. God, if you don't drop an upgrade module, punk, if you just drop a DNA fragment, I'm just gonna be a little upset about that. You're still upset because you saw Poopy. And you're going to be more upset because you slept on the floor. You're going to keep sleeping on the floor because I'm not going to give you anything. So what about like a plushie? That'll make them happy. I'll put a plushie in the toilet, in the bathroom. So they have to see this pumpkin, and that'll make them happy. And a little red Starmancer poster as well. Put it right in the back. Right behind that thing. No biomass found. Did I lose power? Is that why it stopped? Oh my god, you son of a gun. I'm about to lose power again because of this fucking leech, dude. There it is. There it is. Got it. The treadmill does generate power so fast, though. I'll just reduce it slightly.
Okay.
5. I could make it 2. Maybe 3. Game Freak, what's up? I'll try 3. It's about half. Just literally half it. Like that. Or maybe the player could have specific activities that they do just to make money, and we can separate items from money somehow. In some capacity. I don't know what that would be exactly, but one example would be like maybe in the star map, there's a guy that says, hey, send me a mechanic and fix my stuff, and then I'll give you, 5,000 credits or something like that. I don't know. Right now, Game Frame was talking to Victor, and then I'm sort of playing. But anyway, that would be an example where you wouldn't need a resource, you just need a colonist, and a colonist who has available time, and then they go out, they do a rabbit hole activity, and you get paid for it, But is that fun at scale? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. To just keep, because basically what you'd be doing is like odd jobs, kind of, if you think of it like that,
Yeah.
Mental stabilizers, which sell for way more than this scrap is going to sell for, so I might as well do that. But I don't know if I want to sell it, though. I'm doing it. I'm selling the mental stabilizers.
How many do you actually get?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the thing. We'll see in a second. It's more than one, but I don't know. I don't know if it's 10 because every item type can have different like amounts that you can specify for it. So I don't know. Once it comes back, we'll see. He's looking at a treadmill. God, power leech
max inventory should be like 5 or something because
got an upgrade module. Why? Like, but if it's ore or something, or 5 ore is nothing. It's not even worth getting 5 ore.
Yeah, but it's supposed to just be like utility if you want something quick. Like, oh, I need that.
But why would you ever choose to get ore if you only get you literally could just go to any planet and get 5 ore? Like, what's the issue with 5 ore? Or what's your issue with getting 15 ore? Like, it's too much ore?
Yeah.
But why? What's the purpose of selecting ore there? Because you would never choose ore because you just always just pick a treasure or something instead because it'd be more valuable. So like the reason of picking ore is if like you need ore for something or galarian for something, and you didn't feel like mining it. But if it was just 5, I'm saying it's like barely better than the opportunity cost. There is not any better than if you were to just choose to manually mine it. The only time you would need it, I guess, is that 5 ore is if you were in a system that had no ore left, or you got unlucky and didn't spawn any ore or something like that, and you want to stay in the system for some reason. But what can you do with 5? Good luck with nothing.
You can make 5 bullets.
Yeah. How much ore does it take to make 1 metal? Is it 1 or 2? The numbers switch around sometimes. So maybe you can make 2 bullets. You can make between 2 or 5 bullets. This is going to be so much money I'm about to have. Did I research anything? I could do the crypto miner with a no power upgrade. That might be the play. But I don't know. See, like, what if the programming terminal was required to make something the crypto miner needed?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you have to make, like, a GPU or something.
Yeah.
Like, unironically. I mean, like, maybe it's make, like, literally, like, a GPU and then the GPU like overheats, or you have to make a new one. You know what I mean? Like okay, because it would be like the fuel or something.
Mm.
What if like the tier 3 upgrade of the crypto miner was that you could liquid cool it and it would produce power and money even faster? It'd be interesting, right? Because then you could still have the crypto miners and they're still doing something, you know?
Yeah.
So if you place a bunch of crypto miners at tier 3, they wouldn't become obsolete. Instead, they would just actually get upgraded and make more money. Maybe that'd be something, I don't know.
And you could somehow craft a coolant from something.
Yeah, maybe chemistry or something makes coolant for you.
Yeah.
And then what's coolant from? A material? A resource or something? Must be.
Yeah.
So the thing is, a tier should be structured in a way where you have to master one tier before you can move on to the next tier, you know?
Yeah.
Let's stop selling mental stabilizers. Actually, how much? 2? Okay. I'm going to stop selling mental stabilizers.
How many you got from...
I'm guessing 5. Because there's 3 in there right now. But I'm guessing someone has transported some of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm just guessing 5. 5 seems... I mean, it's not going to be like 7, right? And I don't think it could have been 10 yet. I don't think there was enough. Actually, there's 4. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's still unhappy. Bed -1, but you should get an art memory whenever he uses the bathroom. What's the memory?
Oh.
You get a +1 memory if you sleep on in a toilet. A +1 bed memory. Performing research. The problem with metal being a build cost though is that what if you don't have any metal in your system?
Yeah.
Like your star system, I mean, or you just run out, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're kind of like, you gotta like warp, and because the way the game's set up right now, it's it's very likely that would happen all the time, actually, like all the time.
Yeah.
If we do if you ever do a system where like a procedural terrain system or something where like asteroids are effectively endless or much larger, then it could be okay. You know? But I don't know. Of course, if the resources were endless, there'd be no reason to relieve a system.
Yeah.
But maybe that's okay. If there was a finite amount of money in a system, though, there'd be a good incentive to leave the system. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know
also,
what
like the
that
rarer
would be.
resources could be limited, while basic ones could be,
What's a rare resource?
something other than metal, galarium, silicon.
Do we have any of those?
Hydra, gas. It's not used for anything, right?
It's used for money. And by the time you get to it, you barely even need money, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, hey, here's more money. But that's because it has no other use.
Yeah.
But presumably it would have some kind of use. Why don't you just sleep in the toilet? Is it because you're sleeping in
I
the
think
toilet?
it's just used for fuel, like fuel cells or fuel rods.
But for what? Fuel for what?
Generator.
But what about fuel? Just there's like fuel already that the chemist makes out of biomass.
Yeah. We can change that to like biofuel. And then
But hydrogas is
like
kind of a... you have to get a ship with the appropriate upgrade to get it, which takes kind of a while.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't be able to use a generator for a long time. And
well, there could be like sort of hydrogas.
what's wrong with fuel, though, right now? I mean, fuel seems okay. Fuel exists. We have fuel.
Yeah, but you don't need anything like external to bring in to make fuel.
Sure. Well, you have to use like biomass or something like that. But yeah, you don't need anything external.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you still have to process some resource, which is poop, and then you have to eventually convert it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't have to like bring anything in, so there's no like none of that sort of pressure of like, oh, I gotta make sure there's fuel or there's.
Right, but what's so bad about
fuel
that?
resource in the system.
What's so bad about that? Because you still have to do stuff. You have to make sure your chemist is working to stock it. It doesn't even need that much, to be honest. You don't need that much fuel, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I better make sure there's oxygen in here. Is he going to die? I think he's going to live. I believe he's going to live. He's sort of okay. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah, I don't see the purpose of the fuel, though, to of changing the fuel of the generator. Because it already has fuel, and then you're just changing to a different type of fuel. You just put fuel, like, as a resource on planets or something, for example, instead of using... Like, there's no... we could just remove hydrogas in the game. We don't have to be like, oh, hydrogas must now be the new fuel source for the generator, because it doesn't really fit at that stage, I don't think.
Yeah, but I think it's more interesting if you have to bring something in and you have, you know...
Right, well, no, I was,
right
no,
now there's-
right, but what
right
I
now
said
there's
was
only
you
really
could do that with fuel.
water.
No, I mean, saying you could just literally do that with fuel. You could put fuel on planets. You wouldn't have to use hydrogas for it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have to be hydrogas. It can be...
Well, it's because you said use hydrogas. I was like, well, I don't really
Yeah,
know if
because,
hydrogas matters.
Because biomass is already used for a bunch
I
of
mean,
things, so.
I guess people might have opinions on this if they think that I don't know, the generator's not fun or something. That they wish the generator was harder to use would be basically what you're saying, right? So let's make the generator harder to. Well, it is though, because you'd have to go get another resource, because if your argument is that fuel right now is too easy to make because you don't have to go, because you're saying you don't have to externally acquire a resource to get it, and you think that that's not as good as it could be, or that's bad or something like that.
Actually, fuel is like a hassle because you need the chemist first. So if you could use like some kind of raw fuel that you could just mine and put that in the generator, and then when you get a chemist, you can like refine it to better fuel, more efficient fuel.
What does more efficient fuel do?
It lasts longer.
I don't know. It doesn't really seem necessary. It seems like a weird roundabout sort of thing. Because it already uses fuel that you have to craft, which isn't that hard, I don't think. Because you have a treadmill. Like, what's the purpose of the treadmill? It's to generate power without needing those resources. So, like, so you think the current generator is too hard? Actually, you think?
Yeah.
Like, you think that like it's too much of a hassle to make fuel. Maybe people don't understand how to make fuel. Maybe they're not making fuel. Maybe something like that. But if they could just get fuel, they would be more likely to use a generator, or maybe they'd find the generator more accessible to use or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that's what you're arguing. That's what you're arguing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does the chemist do then if you just get fuel? So the thing about the fuel lasting longer doesn't really seem like a good argument to me, because
if more power.
But if it's already because if your argument is that it should be easier to get fuel, then they don't really need the chemist to make fuel last longer if it's already kind of easy to get fuel. Like, if they don't have an issue getting fuel, I'm saying, because you're saying, because let's say, because right now you say it's too hard to get fuel, so if you make it easier to get fuel, they should have less of a problem getting fuel. And then what real solution is the chemist offering if the fuel lasts longer? It could generate more power, but then I guess the generator presumably isn't creating enough power by default. It would have to be. It gets to be some need. The player's like, man, I wish I had more power, without placing a second generator. It would have to be one of those situations, which is why I think the fuel upgrade's kind of weird. And it's probably better if it's just a different object or something, like a nuclear reactor or something, right? That clearly requires uranium, something like that. That then just generates way more power.
Yeah, but it's nice with like an in-between object that can use both the raw fuel and also like the refined fuel. And then like the next tier needs to have like the refined fuel.
I don't know. I don't really think so. And because, like I said, what's stopping the player from placing just another generator? If the fuel is easy to get, why wouldn't they just place two generators? Why would they bother with getting this advanced fuel source? Like, let's say, what does the advanced fuel do? Is it like double the amount of power the generator produces or something? Maybe.
Yeah.
But the generator's presumably easy to fuel and easy to afford already.
Yeah.
So, see you, man.
Yeah,
see you, however you say that name. But also, I don't think the generator has any issues right now. I mean, Because so I don't know.
Well, I mean, right now you don't need generator.
So is the issue that you don't need the generator, or that the fuel's too hard to make?
I mean, there's like layers of issues.
I place a generator sometimes if once I can afford it. That's typically what prevents me. You need a decent amount of infrastructure in place before you can get it as well.
Yeah.
And by that you just need because you have to be able to afford the chem table.
Yeah.
But it's not that much of a prohibitive cost. Like I could afford it right now if I wanted it, for example. But I just have other stuff that I'm going to research first because I don't really need to research it yet, you know?
Yeah.
But I could. I just don't. But I have to place a chem table, and then I have to place a generator, and I'm already okay enough on power, so I don't really need to. But then but the generator is supposed to be more of a mid tier, like a mid game object. But it's not supposed to be like the early game object. Because if it was early game, what's the purpose of the treadmill? Like treadmill's supposed to be for early
I'm not saying
power.
it should be early game.
No. So then I don't like. So if it's supposed to be mid game, by that point the player should have a chem table, right? Oh my god, are you serious right now? Well, I need Galarian for a mission actually. So I can go do that. Wait, romance novels. This is the wrong mission. This one must be the mission that I need. Yes, this is it. Boom. Space Rock. What time is it? Oh, it's 7:19. See, it's day 2, and I have a decent amount of money. This temp is hot. Is it? No, it is kind of hot in there. It's getting warm. I mean, first, I think the generator should have very clear advantages over the treadmill. It has or should be doing something the treadmill can't do, such as generating way more power or something like that. The player should get to a point where the treadmill either becomes obsolete or just becomes just like what's the point? Why am I doing this? Like I could just make a generator or something instead.
Yeah.
Which always eventually happens when I play. Maybe not as fast as you want to. Get out of here, broken bot. By the way, the random events only happen in the editor. They don't happen in the built games for players. If I don't prepare him, will he produce silicon for me? Wait, what?
Pretty sure they kept happening to me when I was playing on.
Yeah, in an older build. Yeah, but not in the current build.
Alright.
Let me repair this bot. It probably won't be a murder bot, right? What are the odds? It's not going to be a murder bot. So we're going to equip this helmet. Then we're going to... Oh. Requires engineer level 3. Well, I don't have that. I don't have that. Should I make an ore refinery? Get some metal, maybe? How long will this broken bot last for? I think I'll just stay there forever. Just crawling around like a freak. Let me cancel this. And then go here and mine this. I need to get an ore refinery now. A freaking ore refinery. Let's build an ore refinery area here, maybe. How big does this door have to be? I think I can fit right there. I think. Yeah, I can fit. Perfect. And dark mesh. This is stupid. This is not a good layout I just did. Because the ore refinery is so big, it's going to have to be like way over here or something. Right? Like right there, maybe? Something like that. While I have the space, though, I might as well use it. God, I hope they build walls before they build refineries, huh? There. I got some Galarian. Offload unavailable. Why would you say that? No rooms are storing this item. No, I guess they're not.
No.
Biomass. Nutrition bricks. I should get a storage bin and put bricks in there, huh? Let's do that. I'm going to put bricks in there. Maybe I could do biomass as well, but then again, I could just get a biomass tank, right? I don't know. Let's put ore in a thing too. Like a little ore storage bin, put it right here. I literally don't even have ore researched or unlocked yet, which is annoying, so I can't even click it. Someone needs to be my dedicated stalker. How about you? You can be my dedicated stalker. Okay. See, no beds, everyone's happy. No one's unhappy. And no beds. What is this bot? What do they have? Moonshine? They call it toilet juice? So dumb. Friendly if repaired. Okay. So what's your issue with every tier of power requiring progressively more power?
Well, as long as the transition isn't, too like strange. Like it shouldn't be like too obviously tiered. It should be more like a gradual progression.
You mean? I mean, like, what do you mean by that statement? It shouldn't be too gradual. Do you mean that the player should not be aware that there's a tier?
Well,
because I guess why is it
obviously
an issue if it's obvious? I guess because I'm just asking because I'm just using the word you use, right? Like you said, it shouldn't be too obvious.
I mean, it just becomes this kind of weird thing where you can place a bunch of machines, then all of a sudden like a medical desk requires like 10 times the amount. And like, but why?
Well, what if it required 10 times the amount of money? What if it was just significantly? What if it was very obvious that like, oh, this thing's better? Because here's the thing: if objects don't eventually start requiring more power, you can use a treadmill forever. If you can use a treadmill for a generator, or let's say for an ore refinery, and then let's say the most advanced thing takes 3 times as much power as the ore refinery, because you're saying I don't want it to be too much higher, so 3 times is still pretty big.
Yeah.
You just place like you could what's the purpose of the generator? I guess you never need to use a generator, and then the solar panel as well. What's the purpose of the solar panel?
Well, I mean, the solar panels are kind of weird because they don't really have like a drawback or anything.
I mean, the generator barely has a drawback. The treadmills doesn't really have a drawback at all either, really. The only downside, yeah, but it's not that much big of a hassle for that to happen. It just has to get moved. Like it's never really an issue where colonists aren't on treadmills. Maybe early game if you don't have enough batteries, something like that. But once you have enough batteries, you probably just have one treadmill forever, and you're kind of okay.
Yeah, but that's because it generates power so quickly, and colonists will also.
Right. So, but okay, right. But if you were to run it out, right, the issue is that the treadmill doesn't generate too much power, or rather, relative to each other, the generator is not generating more power than the treadmill, where it's clearly worth it, which would suggest that the generator needs to either generate more power or the treadmill generates less power. And in any case, at some point, the treadmill should not be generating enough power for the user, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And how is that possible if all the objects require basically the same amount of power?
Oh no, I didn't say like basically the same. I said it should be like a gradual sort of increase.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the tech tree, for example, there really aren't. What is this? Get out of here. There aren't really enough objects for there to be like a gradual increase because it's not like a clear tier of objects or something. There's like, let's say you have an ore refinery, then you have like a workbench, and a jukebox, and like a distribution booth. Or, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of looking at the things, right? There's not enough objects where you can be like, oh, like each one takes like 20% more power or something, or eventually it's like, oh, this is too much, right? Where I can't, because there isn't really that clear thing. Right now, there's an ore refinery, there's a workbench. That's it.
Well, I mean, if you take all the machines you have right now.
You mean placed?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got like 1, 2, 3. I've got 4. Let's say I've got 4 right now.
Yeah. And then if you place the exact same amount again. Like you double the amount of things that you have.
Why would I do that though? Like, why would I
Like
place another food brick factory when I'm limited by biomass right now?
yeah, but let's say you weren't.
And I want more food bricks for some reason. I want as much food bricks as I can make, or something.
I mean, basically, it shouldn't necessarily.
I'm not
be
like
that
I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm just asking, like, because you say
Yeah.
a thing, and then I'm saying, okay, so that's what you mean. Like, why are you saying that?
Yeah, but basically, it shouldn't only be like, oh, I have to go up a tier and then I'm gonna need the generator. It should be more like, also if you're trying to build like more of the current machines, you should also require a generator.
What if I never want to build more of the current machines, because I don't?
Well, eventually you're gonna place something new, right?
Yeah, but not that much stuff, right? Like, there's not that many objects in the game you have to place. I mean, so for example, let's say I place the ore refinery, I place, let's say, the workbench, I place the chem table, I place the med table, I place like all those objects, right? That's maybe 10, something like that. Maybe I place like 10 things or something. Okay, like, shouldn't something late tier require more power than something early game?
For sure.
As an incentive. Well, there isn't any late game objects. There's just that there's really not. So again, I would place like maybe 10 objects or something. There's like 10 objects you can place, which isn't really enough time to gradually increase it to the point where you're like, oh, I need more power now.
Well, I mean, the thread mill shouldn't really be able to power 10 things. And right now, it can. Like, without issue.
So then we're in agreement that the treadmill should generate, the generator should generate relatively more power compared to the treadmill. Where the player's like, oh, the generator is the advantage. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. So that's what we'll do. We'll make the generator generate less power and the generator generate more power.
Yeah. But you also already reduced the thread mill. It should have a significant impact.
I reduced it from 5 to 3.
Oh yeah, if you save and reload, will that change come into effect?
Yeah, it'll go in immediately. All right, now back to the generator fuel. Do you still feel like the generator should have an easier fuel source?
I mean, I think it makes sense to have like a raw fuel and then have like a higher tier fuel.
What does a higher tier fuel do?
It's just better. Just like a
Yeah, but you can't say better. Like, what is it? How is it better? You can't just be like, oh, it's better. Like, what does better mean? Because better can mean anything, right?
More power.
So. All right, I can rebuild this bad boy. How much more power?
Monsters as well.
I'm not gonna do that because I have to switch branches and I'd have to cache the things. And it's sort of like it takes like a long time for whatever reason. Okay, it's on a different branch. And I don't know if is it ready like to get merged?
Well, pretty much.
Because I'd have to merge it with this branch, but I still want to, like, this branch I'm going to merge back with master at some point, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're not ready. What is this probe scanner complaining about? I fixed this unless I didn't put it in. Nope, this one. Maybe Didn't I fix this? Where is this merged right now? Maybe I didn't commit it. Maybe I missed it in the commit. That's possible. Interesting. And play. So if there's like 2 tiers of fuel, what's the purpose of the... Like, the first tier of fuel then becomes obsolete at some point. Like, so how do you get the second type of fuel? How do you get the first type of fuel? How do you get the second type of fuel, you know?
I mean, it's basically used to refine the raw fuel. So you can use the raw fuel directly, but it's not as efficient. And then once you get better stuff like the chemistry table, you can then refine the fuel.
I don't know. There's not really a good system in place to prioritize like requests like that. To be like, oh, just use only the good fuel, but use the bad fuel if you don't have anything left or something. And again, I'm not even convinced that it's a problem though. Like you're just assuming that there'll be a problem that the generator doesn't produce enough fuel or something like that, or that the players want an intermediate between tier 2 and tier 3 power supply or something like that, and then the generator, efficient fuel source would be like the tier like 2.5 or something,
No.
But I'm not.
But it's really
sure if that's
more about having to go out into space to gather the fuel.
Why is that? Like, I guess why is that part important to you? Because the players already have to go out in space to get other stuff. I guess like why is it important to you? Like why do you think it's bad that right now they have to craft fuel from bio waste on their station?
Because it's too like self-sufficient. You don't need anything external.
But you still need external stuff for like water and other things.
Yeah, but it's only water. It's you could literally just get water and be fine.
Yeah. Well, you need money, but yeah, you could. I mean, eventually, if you presumably you want metal for some purpose. What is this? Oh, I see. That's cute. Oh, it's paying to all the colonists. That's interesting. Does anybody like Workbench? Anybody? Workbench? You do. And you can fix object. And you can do object maintenance. You're not my space pod, are you? No, you're not. That's good. Let's make you orange. Mechanic orange. So again, you just think that it'd be more fun if the player had to go out and get the fuel source as opposed to making the fuel source on their station.
Yeah, because it creates more like.
Do you think that anything is fun to make on your station? Or nothing? Should everything come from space?
No.
What shouldn't come from space then? Like, what's the line in your head?
Well,
because here's the thing, like you're saying, like it shouldn't come from space, or it should come from space rather, but you're not really like defending it. You're just saying almost as like dogmatically, like I believe it should, and I'm sure you have reasons in your head, but I just feel like you haven't really articulated them yet. What's she doing?
Well,
oh, she's just
more
looking at it.
Interesting to have like a purpose of going.
Who's on their way?
Space,
Who's on their way? This guy's on their way.
Where something is, a necessity for survival, and not just, I'm going to space to make money. Because right now there's only water that you really need from space. And should there only be like one resource?
So, but so the player never needs metal or never needs anything else. He only needs water. Why do you need water?
To survive.
What for? What?
Probably colonists, don't they?
Yeah, but I'm not asking you a trick question. Like, why do you need water? You don't need water in the game either. You don't really need anything in the game. What do you need water for? For food? You can make food without water.
No.
And you don't need the oxygen either, because your core generates oxygen. I mean, you don't really. I'm saying you don't actually need the water either. Like everything is just optional because the player wants it for some reason. Because my point is that you're saying like you have to go and get water. It's the only thing, but you don't have to get water. Just like you don't have to get ore, but you probably are going to get ore if you're doing anything in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, water is right now the only thing that sort of when you run out, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta get more.
For what? For why?
Like that has
like
any
crops,
kind of,
maybe.
Like, urgency.
But for what? Crops? But I mean, arguably it'd be the same thing with if you were using metal for something.
Yeah, but that just stops the production. It doesn't it's not an existential threat to the colony.
Well, neither is water.
Well,
like, I guess like what's water's existential? Like what is water's existential threat?
That you're not gonna have enough for the oxygen creators.
And you run out of, and then everyone will suffocate or something like that. And there's some sense like everyone's.
But mainly the farm, because you have all that food coming in, and you're like, oh fuck.
Did you make the treadmill just now usable in free time, or was it already usable in free time and people would look at it?
It was already, yeah.
because it shouldn't be. I'm disabling it.
Oh.
Because this colonist is blocking the other colonists from using it. So
Yeah, I figured
I'm
that was
disabling
the
it.
reason that that you disable it for stuff, like in general, like the workbenches, for example. Why they don't have?
Yeah.
But it's also a good reason for getting free time objects so that you don't go and bother like other
Oh, that's sort of a weird
colonists.
thing. I feel like that's like a weird sort of justification. Is like, oh, let's make the treadmill, like let's purposely make the colonist stand in front of the treadmill, blocking other colonists from using it, to force a player to place like an arcade so that they use the arcade instead of blocking the treadmill. You know, I mean, I'm saying I don't think players will view it that way. I think players will be like, why is he blocking this? This is annoying. I don't think they're gonna think, oh, how do I fix this? All right. I have so much money now. I don't even know what to do with it. What if I double this?
Like one upgrade on the ship.
What'd you say?
That's like one upgrade for the ship. Let's see.
If I have enough money that I can bake like all sorts of goodies. What if I do workbench maybe? See, like if the game is balanced in a way where the players is constantly trying to increase production or something, or constantly trying to build more refineries and more refineries and more or something like that, or just doing more and more and more, then there's a better argument that the treadmill organically would just not have enough power, so, like again organically. But right now, that's not how the game is balanced. Because right now, you can just kind of place one ore refinery, and it's sort of good. You don't need to place subsequent ore refineries, to do it, because the production takes the amount of time it takes. Also, you don't really need metal that badly. Like you don't need metal so bad that you're like, oh, I need to make metal faster. I need to double this amount because the amount of metal that I need is not being met anywhere. And it could be we could balance it more so that you sort of need more stuff. But then what are you doing with the metal? It might be fun if the player could just pipe objects directly to a trade pod or something. Because then, you would maybe want more refineries or something like that,
Yeah.
Just keep seeing how much money. Because you know how there's that funness in placing a crypto miner, and the fun part of that crypto miner is that you've created an automated system that's generating you money over time. That's actually what's fun about it, right? So if you could have more things that do that, perhaps that'd be fun. I don't know if it would be fun, but But again, the fun part about the crypto miner is that you feel like you invest money in something. Once you set it up correctly, then it's producing power forever. Or you're making money forever, and there's something that feels good about that. Yeah. Whereas everything else in the game is so ad hoc. It feels like it doesn't really feel like there's any permanence. It doesn't feel like there's more stability. It doesn't feel like your station is more profitable necessarily than it than it was. Even though if it is, because you have all the machines, there isn't really like that good. That good sense of like, oh yeah, I've set up all the things correctly, and they're all going to get power. I will just min-max this game to shit. I don't even care. I guess I could build a big battery. Big battery. You pick up and research. You don't have to sleep, dudes. Oh, that was a close one. That's not serialized, is it? I hope not. I said, that's not serialized, is it? And I said, I hope not. The amount of power that it generates might be serialized in a way where I can't change it on a placed object. But it's not. I can see here. It's right here.
Does it say when you click it exactly how much?
Extra
generates?
power per speed? Extra power per speed?
Huh.
One more power per speed? From 10 to 1? Maybe that's the issue? It's hard to say for sure. That's what Victor says.
Those are young.
And to once again go back to the generator requiring more fuel. It's not that I don't think that you're correct. I'm just trying to determine like why you're making these suggestions and be like, oh yeah, what's the pros and cons of this, and what's other ways that we can have a similar goal, or have a similar sort of solution or something. Because see, like a reason you think that the generator might need an extra type of fuel is maybe a few reasons. So one, if there's a tier 2 fuel, so you take tier 1 fuel, convert it to tier 2 fuel, that makes tier 1 fuel always usable. You always want more tier 1 fuel, right? So in sort of an infrastructure chain, it's always going to go from this to this. Where fuel never becomes obsolete, where any infrastructure you put in place to create fuel is always going to be beneficial. There's never going to be a point where you're like, oh man, that was stupid of me. I shouldn't have done that. Let me just delete a bunch of my fuel infrastructure, right? So, but I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if adding more resources is really the way, But I don't know. Because every resource that you add adds that extra step, And then you're also positing, I believe, a little bit that the generator, I think what you're basically saying is that the generator should be unlocked by the player or used by the player before the chem table.
Yeah.
Because you're arguing that the chem table is sort of
well, it's more of like
too complicated at the point where the player wants the generator or something like that. 'Cause you're saying making fuel or something.
The chem table is like a separate branch, and if you start a game and
right,
you don't want to deal with like
there's a lot of setup just to get the generator going.
Yeah.
But the hard thing though at the same time is like that's sort of how it goes though, right? Like that's sort of what like at some point you should have to set up the at some point you should be gated by your infrastructure. And then you should be forced to like increase your power production before you can move on to the next step. I mean, all I'm saying is at some point, and I would think that probably the most fun way to do that is to maybe unlock access to a resource that you didn't previously have or something like that. Maybe maybe something like that, because then you're going out and find like you have to find oil or something, and then like once I find oil and I can, and also you should be able to stockpile probably the resource necessary before you even get to that point.
Did you say you should or you shouldn't?
You should. Like you should probably be able to start acquiring like fuel before you ever have a generator. If I never fix this guy, he's just gonna fucking poop out silicon forever. Because maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
What's this? Nice.
I mean, if they keep stockpiling it before though,
And by stockpiling, I mean the player should be able to acquire it. Is what I mean. Like they should be able to acquire it before. So they would stockpile if they knew that they needed it, right? They'd be like, oh, I do need this, so I should keep it for the next. Like let's say they find uranium. They're like, well, I know I need uranium, and so I'm going to keep it. It's clearly a fuel source that I'll need eventually, and they should probably be able to get uranium before they can, build a nuclear reactor. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But there's something about, sort of the purpose of, because for generating money, there are so many different alternatives. But if you want
almost too many alternatives, to be honest. It's almost like there's too many choices. It's like they can just, because we can sell anything, everything becomes kind of pointless, doesn't it?
Yeah. But then for, if you want to grow crops, you always need the water. So if for power, you're always going to need fuel, then it's going to be like a thing you have to go out and get with purpose. Rather than just make a decision like, oh,
pick up.
Do I want to make, data ships, or do I want to make, medkits?
Right, I mean, everything should have a purpose. Why does this generate so much goddamn power? Let me try something real quick. Oh, because all the batteries are full? Get the hell out of here. Research. This big battery, please. Now what's happening here? Unused tech, electricity back. Should be every second. What if it's not every second? That'd be a big issue, wouldn't it? Providing 2. Well, I guess I didn't. Oh, I didn't rebuild the library. That's what happened. I see. The colonist's extra movement speed was, I think, generating a lot of extra power that it shouldn't have been. I agree with you that all resources, the purpose, the player should have some purpose for getting all resources, and it should very rarely be money.
Yeah.
Unless it's, you know, like a money-specific resource, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would suggest that you would need a real use for everything. You need a use for metal, a real use for silicon, a real, an in-universe purpose for it to exist that isn't just its money.
I mean, once you get like harassed by all the zombies, you sort of need a lot of bullets. So you sort of need that steady stream of metal.
I don't think that's a very good use case for metal right now, to be honest.
No. But
I mean, you're using it as an example of a thing, sure, but I mean,
yeah.
I don't really think it's a good, like, oh yeah, the players.
But it gives you like that feeling of necessity where you're like, oh yeah, if I run out of metal, then I'm gonna be exposed to, you know, dangerous zombies, and that's not good.
I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like metal should be used to construct your station. I feel like silicon should be used to build robots on your station and maintain robots. And I feel like galarium should be used for organic, you know, things that you do on your station. Like if you want to do medicine stuff, if you want to make, you know, genetically manipulate people, the base material should be galarium. I don't know if we need to add an extra base material, base resource, which would be fuel. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's fine, right? Maybe it's fine. If there is, I don't know.
I think it makes sense for like the power infrastructure to have its own, you know, because power is like a significant thing.
Yeah. But then how does a solar panel fit into that? We could remove the solar panel, of course. We don't have to keep it just because it exists. Yeah. But then certain things like, maybe it's like, well, maybe let's never have a nuclear reactor. Like you can imagine you take fuel, you take, you know, 2 fuel, make it dense fuel or something, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
You take 2 dense fuel, mix some metal in it or something, some superheated metal. You maybe make like a, you know, tier 3 fuel source or something. But then I still don't really want to create situations in which the players, ideally, it would be better if the tier 1 power producer never became obsolete somehow, you know? So for example, the treadmill, right?
Yeah.
Or even the generator. Let's say there's a treadmill, generator, nuclear reactor. At some point you will unlock the nuclear reactor, and then what do you do with your generators? Just delete them? Because you don't need the fuel. You don't need to like make fuel from them anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So like, what do you do? Just delete them? And that feels, you know, not. It would be It would be better if the player didn't have to. You know, if somehow it was good. But you know, presumably the generator's already set up in a way where it's getting fueled automatically. Like the player, you know, the player has infrastructure set up, so I guess it doesn't hurt anything to keep it on.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. All right, here we go, baby.
I mean, ideally, it would be like set up in a way where you can still use them as fallback, and there would be some reason to use them as fallback. Maybe in certain conditions you can't use the reactor, and then like, oh, then at least I have a generator as a fallback.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And something like the solar panels, should just be some kind of like alternative source that just gives you like a small bit.
I don't know.
It has
I mean,
some
I
kind
feel like
of
solar panels
drawback.
could just be removed completely, to be honest.
Yeah, but they're part of like the space fence.
Just because space fence doesn't mean it's staying. Well, it's true though. I mean, just because like
Yeah.
if they don't fit, I'm saying if they don't fit at all, it's like we don't have to keep them just because it's part of the fantasy.
Yeah.
Or figure out how to incorporate them into the system in a way where like they make sense for mechanics. Because like it should like the setting should be independent of sort of like the on paper design of the systems, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you just instead of say tier 1 power producer, tier 2 power producer, tier 3 power producer, whatever, right? You should be able to define everything in that way. And then, then you wrap it in a skin, which is the setting, But,
Yeah.
And then the thing is, how do you, and then what you do is you take, okay, well, we want solar panels to be tier 3. How do we adjust solar panels so that they fit into the tier 3, power production or something like that? Maybe they require a certain coating or something like that, from the fuel or, something like that. If they require fuel, if they do. It's just hard to justify a solar panel requiring fuel, it doesn't really, because they don't require fuel. It's sort of weird.
Yeah. They could,
because if they don't require fuel, eventually the all the fuel infrastructure will be useless.
Yeah.
If they were tier 3, I mean, because you just keep placing more,
Yeah.
and then you don't really need them. I mean, I honestly do feel like if the player could just automate things, the game could possibly be a lot more fun. So, for example, completely automating the system by which ore is acquired and converted into metal and sold. If they could just completely automate it without requiring any colonists, or at least requiring any additional input on their part ever, would probably be fun. Because then because imagine if you set up in a way, you set up all the stuff, and then the metal, you're making 1K per day off metal or something. I think that would be fun. And then that's good forever because you set up the loop, and then you can set up more of those loops if you want to, make more power or make more money. But kind of hard, right?
Yeah.
Like if you had like conveyor belts, for example. Imagine if there were no colonists in the game at all. There were none. You just had to do everything without people, so everything had to be automated. And then you'd like have like a ship or something, and then you have like a little treadmill that goes from the ship to the refinery. Basically, I'm describing Factorio, to be honest. But that's what's fun. It's fun. It's like placing the objects is more fun than like waiting around and hoping that some dude gets around to doing it.
Yeah. I think is still kind of programming being used to create robots or use the data ships to make bots, and then they can just transfer items and
here we go.
Do simple tasks.
Now it's ticking down, dude. Now this guy's generating 1 power, which is exactly the amount that's being consumed. So he is going to be on there forever.
Yeah.
What is he even using power right now? Just these things? That's interesting.
There was something.
They won't actually be used forever.
Using constant power. What was that? Maybe the third.
I have to place another treadmill now. Ugh, I have to pee so bad, so I'll be right back. I drank an entire bottle of water.
Yeah.
Regale these people.
Yeah. There's like 4 people here, I think. Tyler Schaffer is hungry. So anyone have any questions or anything?
Okay.
Oh, you have space on this.
It would be mildly interesting if, like, what if there were, like, contracts in the star map or something? What day is it? Day 3?
What do you mean by that?
I got distracted halfway through. What if, like, when you click on the star map, let's say you mouse over the sun or some of those UI or something. It'd be interesting if there was a contract. Let's say there was, like, one contract, maybe 3 contracts, something per every system, something like that. And it said, like, deliver 10 metal, and when you do, we'll give you 1,000 money. And then there's another contract that says, like, deliver 100 metal, and we'll give you, 10,000, and you have, like, a deadline or something, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that could be interesting, because then the player is like, oh, here's. So, and I'm saying instead of directly selling money through selling metal through like a trade pod, if instead they have to like accept contracts, where someone says, hey, I want 10 metal, and like early game you only have 10 metal, and also maybe as well, this is just I'm just freeballing here, right? But maybe there's like 3 factions. There's like the robot faction that wants silicon. There's like a medical faction that wants galarium. Maybe there's like the humans or something that want metal, because they use metal for different metal purposes. I don't know, just a thought, right? And then, I don't know. And then the way you make money is you open the star map, and then you see what contracts are sort of available here. What can I do? What can I not do? And then you try to fulfill them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's even no time limit for them. Maybe you just, just give me 100 metal as long as it takes. I don't care. But you have to be in the system to do it. Maybe that's fun. Maybe it's not fun. I don't know.
Then you have more like purpose and driving force behind, why you're making the stuff you're making.
Right, and also sometimes you simply don't need, like, literally more metal wouldn't do anything for you because you'd be like, well, I don't have any contracts. Or I could just stockpile in case I do have a contract eventually. Yeah. Again, maybe. See, because I would like to, if we can think of credits as a resource, perhaps there's some way that, we can incorporate, a credit system without, or change the way the money is made in the game without literally redesigning everything. That zombie probably sees me. What, does he have anything? Who is this guy? Is he useful to me? He's my engineer? Why does he have engineering experience? Whatever. Fight the zombie, please, real quick. I think it's slime, dude. Slimes fight zombies now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You fight the zombie too, dog.
Oh, no, you need to upgrade him before you fight.
I'm going to ask you that, dude. I believe in my people. Plus, I have medkits. I'll be fine. What does he have? Nothing? Strange taste? Doesn't matter. I'll pick him up. Heal him immediately. There, he's healed. He's healed.
Can you even get rid of it by just using a medkit?
No! Oh, no, I thought you could. No.
Yeah, you need a healing boost.
He's gonna die then, I guess. This
and
man...
If you return him,
If I return him, if he dies, he becomes a zombie.
Yeah.
But if he never dies... If I can keep him from ever dying, he will not become a zombie. So we'll try that. I need a healing booth. Oh, I have medkits though. This will work out just fine actually. I have medkits already. I don't have to worry about stocking them. So because I didn't sell my medkits, did I? Nope. So I'm good. I'll put a little medical dust somewhere. That'll be fine. But anyway, with factions, you could have like faction experience, with reputation. Maybe as you deliver them more, the better deals or bigger contracts,
stuff, like cosmetics and
But again, just a thought. I don't know. Because I do think there is something nice about credits in our game because it streamlines the system a little bit. I don't think it's all a bad thing. It's just hard, it just creates different problems, a different set of problems. Because sometimes when you're playing these games, it's kind of it's sort of annoying when you're like, oh great, I have to go find whatever diamond or something to do this. Like, okay, what's that? Oh, okay. And then, but there's also fun in that too, But I'm just saying that there is some annoyance when you have to go like go and find diamond, and there's something nice about it. Oh, if it's just money, I just need more money. I know how to get money. I just have to get more of it. But again, then you run into the situations we have, which is, well, I don't know. Because let's say we added another use for metal. Let's say metal is used to make armor. Let's just say, right? Well, how does the player? Does the player still want to sell excess metal? You know, like do they want to store some metal for making armor but sell the rest? It gets sort of weird, you know.
Yeah.
No columns.
And you can already see some of that with with water.
Doctor.
Because you use the water for crops and you use the water for oxygen. And they're like, how much water should I sell? Should I sell any water?
Right. And you're like, probably not. Right? Oh, you didn't even like being a doctor. Never mind. Okay. That's funny. It's because of those three, I bet. That's interesting. But if I do it that way, it still works, huh? You bitch. You bitch. What was I saying? Because I got distracted by having to place a doctor or something. Who's my zombie colonist? There should be like an icon somewhere that says like, hey, he's a zombie, dude. Need to do something about this guy before he becomes a zombie.
Yeah,
Ooh, a strange probe has appeared. I wonder what it wants. It looks dangerous. Maybe we should just leave it alone.
No.
I've never actually encountered this before. Who are you again? Why are you upset, you little punk? -6. I saw a monster, -6. What are you, freaking anxious? You are anxious. What a little punk. Requires medkits? Okay, well. 2 medkits and place medkits. See, Galarium I actually think has a pretty decent spot even now, even without money, because of medicine. I think that actually creates a decent enough use for. You understand what it's for, kind of why you would want it or why you wouldn't want it. I also think it's weird that in terms of the chemist crafting fuel, I think something weird about it right now is that you use your source of food to make fuel, which I think is sort of strange. Because then you have to decide, like, do I use this biomass for food or do I use it to make fuel, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Heal in. All right, this should remove. Yep, cool. Perk should say something when you mouse over. It'd be like healed at, like the zombie one should say like healed at the healing booth or something, you know?
Yeah.
Is this guy just gonna make silicon forever? I guess he is, even though he's not repaired. So if you just don't heal him, he'll never make this. I'm so scared of this robot. It's actually kind of spooky because I know he'll kill my dudes instantly and like he'll one-shot all my guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like the treadmills require. I only have one. Like now I have 2 guys that's on a treadmill all the time, which is very clearly like I want to get off of this, which is actually interesting, which is good. Which is like, oh, let me.
Are they slow as well?
I've severely reduced the extra speed bonus, and I don't know.
They seem to work slow. They're not fast at least.
I don't know. But literally, these people, whatever is consuming power now is consuming power at the same rate that they're producing it. Oh no! Now this stuff's off. It's slightly better. I think, yeah. Now this stuff's off because they don't have it. There's no poopy.
No.
I think it's okay. No fallback storage zone. Shut the hell up. No fall. Okay, I'll place one, you little bitch. Fucking fallback storage on my ass. God, this creepy robot, this creepy probe is in like my ore refinery room. Is his sprite sheet messed up? It is. One of those animations is messed up, dude. One of the sprites has borders on it. I could be wrong. It could be something else.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Not a big deal. I hate the way it wanders, dude. It's so creepy. Because it doesn't like... It doesn't have any like rhyme or reason for why it does what it does. It just like wanders around and you're just hoping it doesn't kill your people or something. What's its treasure got? It's got 2 upgrade modules though. Should I try to kill it? Literally all of my men will die if I try.
You need.
I need a turret or something, right? I can't lock it in either because it'll port away eventually. I'll get nothing. That's too bad. I would really like to kill it. It's so fun though that it spawns. I think it's fun. But man.
It's like a mini boss or something.
Yeah. But this one is optional. I need fuel. Or ore rather. Or also there's a dope model for a fuel extractor. You remember that thing? That thing's pretty dope. Pretty cool. But also another, honestly, like the fuel extractor could be a machine that just takes 1 fuel and makes it into 2 fuel. I mean, that could honestly be a good thing. That was the amount of fuel you have. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? I'm saying without having a fuel that require like a source that requires more fuel or something, you know, or a different type of fuel. It could just be it's twice as much fuel. Like that's pretty good, you know. Of course, how does that work in practice? Because if the machine takes 1 fuel, makes 2 fuel, do you put another fuel? Do you put those 2 fuel like the unlimited fuel? It'd have to be a different type of fuel. It'd have to be like a different thing. It'd have to be called like dense fuel, and dense fuel lasts twice as long or something, you know?
Yeah. So it makes them the higher tier fuel.
Where are they taking the fuel, dude? Oh, this is water. Where are they taking the water? Oh, to the water recycler. Duh.
Oh, yeah.
Adoy. Have I not researched
some
pipes yet? I got distracted. I'm at 0 hours. What happened here? Is that hopefully not a bug? You pick up. You come here. Come here. Research. Go. Do I have the cheat on still for instant build? Currently disabled. That's good. What's got high temps? These 2 rooms? I have like a tenseness while this fucker's on my station. He's just wandering. He's got 2 he's such a tease though. He's got 2 upgrade modules, man.
Imagine if Collins could like steal. You just go pickpocket.
Oh, that would be really fun.
Such a specific use case.
Is it though? Because then what about anything like a zombie, anything that has an item, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I need a sink somewhere. Let's put a sink here. And connect it like so. The biomass will need to be connected like that. I think that's connected. That's connected. We're good there. Let's research a heater maybe. Or actually, I need to research a generator to be honest. And we could upgrade the waste recycler so that it produces 2 biomass for every 1 bio waste. And also make more poopers. Remember I talked about vagrants or guests or stowaways before? Those could be interesting because they would generate more poopy. Like unironically, I mean. Because they would generate more bio waste, and that could be interesting. Because like, oh, that's because it's the backbone of the food system, you know. Of course, they need food, presumably, but didn't I? God, I hate that you can't see unlocked, undiscovered items. I hate it so much, man. Yeah. It's so annoying. Because you're like, well, I can see, like, I want to set this up. Like, I can see this is metal. I'm about to fucking make it. I want to tell you where to put it. He's not gonna know where to put it. Well, I guess they don't store it anymore. They just, but. So. What an interesting upgrade it would be if there was a machine that would just like an automated ore refinery or something. That'd be interesting as a machine. Yeah. Maybe as maybe place like an automation tower or something. You know, you place it near it and it like automates, or you place it next to or something and it'll automate any machine. Like, any machine can get automated or something maybe.
Yeah. Or we just add like a very simple like sort of smelting furnace for metal making, and it's manual. And then the ore refinery is like a really high tier, which is animated.
But
I mean,
what's
automated.
right? But oh, okay, it's automated. I see. Nutrition bricks. Can I get piped? Building something. Building something. Were you building a sink? Did I hook up his pipes? I think I did. I think that's probably going to connect correctly. This person's upset. Let's just keep him upset and see what happens. I saw a monster. What, you? Are you upset as well? No, you're only -2. You'll be fine. No free time. Doesn't like your work. Shut up. This person, though? How long have they been... How long do they have to be upset before they get that permanent morale perk? I don't remember. They'll need a therapist spot, though, if they get to the point. I'm going to see what happens. What if he becomes a maniac and starts attacking the strange probe?
I don't know.
Which then would cause the entire station to get murdered. I could lock the strange probe in a room.
No.
All right, now I've got metal. And then I need my engineer to get to level 3, I believe. At level 3, I can try to repair Mango. I can also dismantle him. You could also just straight up attack him to kill him. But as long as he just stays here, I mean, he's not going to get hurt or nothing. There's ore. I really think like automated things would just be really fun. Like if you could set up the ship some way to be like, hey, mine ore if I have less than 20 ore or something, you know? So that you don't have to keep manually every time. But maybe it's fun that you can manually do it. I don't know. But also if we change the resource system, the resource acquisition system, then it like doesn't really make sense to spend time, you know, making UI and stuff to automate the ships.
Well, you also have the mining drone, so...
What's that?
The mining drone,
But what about it?
which is automated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like conditionally.
Yeah. I don't know. God, how long is this probe gonna stay on the freaking station, man? I really want its 2 upgrade modules, but there's like no chance I can get it. Like there's almost no chance. Oh my god, I'm gonna run out of power. Go, punk, go. Who is using up? Who is doing it? How do you make... You need biomass. Is that right? Will I be able to get excess biomass eventually? I hope so. Do I make my people poop more often? I'll make everyone a little bit more regular. That'll increase my bio waste production, which will give me more biomass. It is really weird that fuels uses biomass. They should use like, what if it uses galarium? I mean, how does that change the whole equation?
Yeah.
Like, would that be better than adding one more fuel source? I don't know, you know? Maybe. Where are you? Oh my gosh, he's on... You go here. Someone else is going to go on the treadmill. How about you? There.
Someone should be able to talk to the alien probe. And then it just responds in like gibberish. Alien.
That'd be fun. And I think technically possible. So
and then if a
I
potty
could
mouth like swears at the
build-
probe, it gets mad.
What if I build... Do I build another treadmill at this point now? One more treadmill? One more, all my colonists will be on treadmill duty? So that I can also just turn off some of these machines, I suppose. It's not like I have to keep them on. Alright, you come over here, pick them up. My 3rd treadmill. gosh, I'm generating the amount of power that I have right now. Oh no, that treadmill's inaccessible now though. But this guy's on the treadmill. Oh no, I hope nothing breaks when I do this. This could be really bad, Victor.
Yeah.
Unable to use because you're not connected. Okay. Alright, well now I should be generating a surplus of power. Right? Sword power 4. No. 3, 4, 3, 4. Can I see 5? Can I see 5? Can I see 5? Show me 5. Show me 5. Okay. I'm not going to get to 5. But, oh well. You know what I could really use right now? A pizza portal. Because that thing has unlimited power. Let me place another... Oh, I can't really. I need to place a chem table, unfortunately.
What if you make the treadmill columns faster?
I could. I don't know if it will take effect immediately. Oh, the guy stopped using the ore refiner. That's why I'm all of a sudden have a surplus. So it's slightly misleading.
Ah. Yeah.
Right. It might have seemed like. Oh, and he's speedy as well. He should be my #1 power generator. Right there. Let's put him #1. Because he should have a little bit of a boost to power. Make it 0.5, so if he gets 2, there's 1 more power. That's probably okay. No bio waste found. I've got 10 biomass. This thing should be hooked up as well. And it is. And we got water. See, something I like about the water tanks is that you can just sell water if you want to. Because you'll only sell the stuff that isn't stored in your tanks. There's something kind of nice about that. Yeah. But I don't know, you know? I just don't know. See, like, contracts might be interesting. It's hard to know, though. Because sometimes it also might just seem arbitrary a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why does it exist? Like, what's the purpose of it, sort of thing. This fucking guy's freaking me out, dude. He's just sitting here staring at me. And he will attack anything. He doesn't care. He'll kill anything. I need a thermal exchanger. Farewell, friendo. Alright, it's gone now. Goodbye. Goodbye, mysterious probe. I will not miss you. What if I sell something? What if I sell something that I have a decent amount of? I have 1 space rock I could sell. I might as well sell space rock, right? I don't want my dudes doing it. I kind of want to see how this guy's going to snap, and so I'm not going to heal him. He still might not even snap anyway. Sometimes they don't. Alright, why are you upset? I pooped on the floor. I'm not giving them beds. That's what I'm... Waste of money. And I need fuel. I wonder if another waste or another toilet is like... would be good. If I make another colonist, I'll get even more. Maybe it's a good one. Bio waste. I will need more food though, but I will get more bio waste, so that seems like a good thing. Let's put a toilet over out in the middle of nowhere. Here he is growing up so fast. What's my mechanic at? Imagine if my mechanic gets level 3 and then he immediately gets murdered by this robot. Survive for 1 week. But like, okay, like raw resources, it would seem to make sense that like, like a robot faction would want silicon or something. Doesn't that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
well, the robots, they need silicon for something. So maybe if you could somehow, like, it'd be fun. Like there's an avenue in which, the way we sell money could be a way that the player can interact with the wider community, like the wider world. Like the robots or something, other factions.
Mm.
You know, like you sell fertilizer to the farmers or something.
Yeah.
Maybe in some systems you can't sell anything because there's no one there. Maybe, but then is that fun? I don't know because they don't have any money. You can't do shit without money.
Maybe if the contracts were just more accessible. If you have like, for example, stations and you can't do regular missions to them, you can only do like the contracts. Or one contract per, station.
What do you mean?
Instead of,
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like if you go to the star system map
Yep, I'm there.
and then to do a contract, you can't see like what the contract requires until you click it. So if they worked just like the regular missions do, they would become more accessible.
But then you just get free money. Is that what you mean? I guess I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, but what's the point? You're still gonna do the exact same thing. It's just like more jumping through hoops.
I guess okay. So, what do you mean you're doing the same thing? I guess I'm a little confused because you're saying, what if we made the contracts just like regular missions? So you mean regular missions and you click them and then your dudes just do it eventually, even if you. But what about the resource requirement for a contract? Does that still exist?
Of course,
So I guess what's the difference in your system?
That you don't have to click through like the UI.
Oh, that doesn't really
Like you
change
do
that
now.
much. That just maybe that's like a quality of life thing, but that's not changing the player, doing these things.
Because you have to click it, and then you see what it is, and then you're like,
Oh, well, that's just a quality of life thing. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not that it doesn't matter, but that would be using the exact same mechanics we already have, and just streamline them a little bit. Okay, I'm never gonna have enough power. What is even taking up all my power?
The system you're proposing,
Mm-hmm.
like what's different from the current contracts?
There'd be more reliance on the contracts, and then of course the UI but they wouldn't be the exact same. The current contracts are totally random. They want things like romance novel, something like that. They would, I guess. I mean, it depends on how you think of it. It's similar, but you wouldn't be getting like experience or nothing. You'd just be getting just money. Like it wouldn't be this thing where they're like Starmancer experience, upgrade monsters. It's literally just money because you're like, I'm trading stuff. Who am I trading it to, basically? And in order for you to sell something to someone, they want to buy it, unless they just want to buy it in bulk. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe even sent to them with trade pods. So any trade pod you have will just be able to accept goods, and you don't have to like go on a mission to do it. That's again so.
No.
And maybe there's multiple levels. So maybe like a level 1, all they'll give you is metal. At level 2, they'll give you... So if you click on like a faction, then there's like a drop down or something maybe. Like a menu opens up and it shows you all the things that they want to buy from you. When the player first starts, there might be 3 things there. It might see metal, superheated metal, magnetized metal. But the bottom 2 are grayed out because whatever, they don't trust you enough or something like that. I'm saying maybe. I don't know. And then you go to a system. The first thing you do is you click on the the human faction or something. You see how much metal they want, then you send the metal, then you keep going on and on about your day. But again, I don't know if that's fun. I'm just saying that. But that's the idea.
Yeah.
What is here? Oh, man. Unlock that Jenny, please.
I feel like the system like that, you couldn't just live sort of in your own bubble like you do now. Because right now you can just sell metal without ever considering,
Actually,
anything at all.
Ore is pretty good.
But with a system like that, you would have to, say what is actually being requested. And
kind of want to get that pendant. I kind of want to get this. Of course, fuel requires biomass. Did my guy just die? What just happened? Oh my god. He got mad and killed the robot. I'm pretty sure his morale was low and he just killed the robot when he saw it, dude. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll never know if he would have been crazy. That's sort of funny that happened. Okay. So, I don't know what to do now. That's sort of a bummer.
Maybe
Okay. Now, can I
the
connect
robot
this?
attacked him and he just one-shotted.
No, he did not attack the robot. Did not attack him because the robot doesn't. Well, I guess I can't say that for sure. But I don't think the robot attacks people. But it could be bugged. It does. But it didn't attack. I mean, a lot of people walked by. It didn't attack them.
Oh, but didn't they fix it and then?
No, I
Or do you have to-
never fixed it.
Ah, I see.
So I think what happened is the guy was upset. His aggression was high enough that he just started wailing on the guy and killed him. At least I think so. Let me get some ice, actually. Ice. There's no ice in the system, though.
That's why you need more robots for the colonists to take out their aggressions.
Let's see. Who... So I think you
Kind
can...
of interesting if there were like robot social services and they were like they were like concerned about like the amount of robots getting killed in your station.
That would be funny. What? I'm out of money now. But soon they're gonna have lots of metal. Let's store silicon here, moonshine here. I've unlocked the generator, finally. What does it cost? 5k? Kill me. Can fuel be transported directly? What's up, Steel Soldier? Can, Steel Soldier, by the way, is the one who named the Abyssal Eye Portal, Victor.
Yeah, I see that.
Can fuel go right to the, fuel tank? I wonder. That'd be kind of cool. Or do people have to drop it off first? Are you pooping? Nice. That'll be more biomass. Very excited when people poop in this game. It's interesting if you need fertilizer to from nutrition bricks, rather, right? So the whole chain, right? Nutrition bricks. And to grow food, because then you sort of have an understandable limit. Like, you're like, I literally don't have enough people to grow all this food.
Yeah.
Maybe, at least. Why are they both orange? Alright, I should have a decent amount of metal soon. How much time can this person spend right now? Well, I guess their level doesn't matter. So what do I do now? I was so looking forward to... My goal was to fix up that robot, and then my colonist killed the robot, so... I guess I'll do something else now. I could make some flux coils. I guess. I'll make some flux coils, dude.
I'll get a center gun in case you get another
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
probe.
That's like so expensive, though. I don't have the money for that. That's what I mean about like the money infrastructure in this game. Sort of weird in a way, right? Where it's like I got like a bunch of money, 20k early, but you know now I don't. Why is he transporting this manually by hand? Aren't there pipes? Oh my gosh, I forgot the pipe there. He's carrying bio-waste in his bare hands like an animal. They're both upset. I really want to see what happens when they snap. Well, I can almost afford a generator. Hey, he's making fuel right now. That's nice. I need a fuel tank. What could I sell, maybe? Bullets? I could sell bullets. I thought I was selling
You're
bullets.
gonna
Like I said,
need the bullets.
I don't need the bullets. Besides, I would like to get the generator up and running, and then I can make more bullets anyway. Plus, it's only 10 bullets. And what's that, like 10 metal? That's fine. I have a lot of ore. Auto-saving. I do need ice, though. So I should probably get out of this system. I think this guy's going to come back with treasure very soon. Oh, not soon enough. Screw this. I'm out of the system, man. God. I need a generator so bad. But you know how we always talked about it would be good if, like, if every system you were kind of like, you'd play it for like an hour or something, and then you would eventually, you know, sort of beat the system and move on, you know, and you get something for beating it. That could be what the contracts do. Could be. And maybe they won't, right? But maybe. Or if there was just like a trader system sometimes, like a trader station, I mean, sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a vendor, basically, and you can just sell stuff to him. Oh my god, this guy. Cancel this mission. And you know what? Just freaking return right now. Bring him home. Bring my boys home. Because I need to warp out of this place. Using the potty? Perfect. That is perfect. What are you making right now, guy? Are you taking ore out of here? That's kind of cute, isn't it? How cute is that? He took ore right out of the little supply box to make his little metal. I think I can warp now. I think everyone's inside, right? This guy's going to sell some space rock. And I'm going to go purple. I'm going to go to the purple place. But the thing is, like, if there was just the infrequent trade, like, pods or whatever, trade stations, you wouldn't be able to make money reliably. Is that okay? Maybe.
I think you'd be too, like, locked in.
Right. Because it's not like in, like, RimWorld or something. You don't actually need money. It's just nice to have. You know?
Yeah.
But in our game, you couldn't do anything without money. You can't build anything without money. You would be stuck, you know?
Yeah.
Or what if there was like a reliable way that the player could always go to the trader or something? Maybe there's something there. I don't know. You know, like what if they warp? Like what if there's like a trade system, like a static trade system always? I mean, you have to warp to it. Once you warp to it, you know, other stations have warped there, whatever, and then you can sell your stuff. Then you warp back to the wilderness to go get more resources. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Is that fun? Maybe. Because then you could warp to specific systems, like an ore system or a water, an ice system or something. The ice system only has ice. Is that fun? I don't know. You know, maybe there's specific events in that system related to ice. You know, it's colder because it's an ice system. Yeah, I don't know. And then whenever you're ready, you go back into town, the town system. That's where you can sell your stuff. You won't get attacked by monsters or nothing because it's a safe system.
Yeah.
That's what it's a faction hubs. Again, is this fun? I don't know. I'm just sort of shooting out ideas, right? But
Yeah. What if we bring back like the galaxy map, but it's a static map?
Right. I know what you
and
mean.
to do like the
I got you.
random
Yeah.
warp, you go through like a wormhole thing.
Right,
So
and
you can choose,
and
like,
you perhaps have a
town,
target.
wormhole.
Right.
Yeah.
Like so you like you would somehow choose. I would think like, oh, I want to go to an ice system. Like you know what I mean. So it would generate an ice system for you.
Yeah.
It wouldn't need to look like the old star map though. It could look like, I don't know, just even a regular RPG map or something. You know, where you click on a place and warp there.
And you could even unlock new places like a pirate system.
Right. Yeah, maybe that could be fun. And then there'd be more of a, because it'd be interesting. Like, let's say if you went to the, I don't know, the pirate system, and there was, let's say Silicon is in the pirate systems. Let's just say, okay.
No.
But a little bit dangerous because, you know, there's pirates. So you have to like have some better defenses or something. That could be maybe interesting, you know?
Yeah. Or if you could like trade with the pirates or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure, but I just meant in this specific case that the power source is a threat is really what I was trying to get at. That there's a threat in the system, and so that makes it more interesting because in some systems, like an ice system, that's a level 1 system or tier 1 system or something like that, and that's no threats to your station. It's just ice. You just go get ice. Nothing bad's gonna happen. No monster spawn. No zombie spawn. And then in different systems with better stuff, more monster spawn, maybe more random event spawn or something like that.
Yeah.
Or even the types of random events. The system's set up where you can have. There's literally not any ice here. Whoa! There's 3 upgrade modules in this anomaly. Scrap. Yo, I'm just getting this scrap, dude. What does this guy want? Refined galarium. Yeah, okay, I can make refined galarium. Yeah, I can do that. 5? You want 5? That's it? So I can make you 5 refined galarium so fast, dude. Just gotta remember. What else we got here? Survey information. That's interesting. Selling survey information.
Yeah.
That's
that
interesting.
would mean like a free system that you visit.
Right.
Like the more stuff you do on the system, like the higher price you can sell like that system for.
Right. That's actually interesting. So there could be a trader that's like sell map data to, or like a button on the star map when you go back to the trade hub, says like sell map data. Like Elite Dangerous has that, for example. It could be another avenue of making money, It would be like, of course, a side thing, but just an extra little thing. You can always, you're always going to get some money when you go back. If you go out in the wilderness, you're always getting some money. And maybe if we could think of, maybe there's ways we can think of the star map, even in the current iteration, as being the wilderness. And like, how can we make it more of the wilderness? And how can we make a system you warp back to as like, that's like your hub where you're safe and,
Yeah.
It would be really, really fun, actually. Man, I don't even know if we could do this. But what if you had like... Okay, hear me out, dog. Hear me out. What if you... what if back in like the main village area, that's where your actual station is, and then when you warp to the wilderness, what if you take like a smaller ship or something, a smaller station? That could be really fun somehow. I don't know how it would work exactly, but it could be interesting. So it's not the main... So like the main game happens... in the like back in your village, back in your town, and then the wilderness is something else. I don't know what it would be exactly, while still having the same game mechanics. Where it's like the same, so instead of being like a completely different like type of screen where you go into like an ice asteroid. Again, I don't know what it would look like, but it'd be interesting if you come back and upgrade stuff. Because it'd be cool if you could go back to the main system and upgrade, right? Because it's static,
Yeah.
But again, I don't know. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like you could spawn like ice asteroids around the station, but one problem now is that your station's so big, you know what I mean? But if you had like a small thing, like just a small chunk of it that goes with you,
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I didn't say that part, right? But that would be wise because then you could do interesting things, because you could have a very clearly defined, space, like a size that you'd have to go into for the ice, the ice system, let's say. And so then you could very easily spawn stuff nearby. You could even just have a ship, literally just a ship, and you fly with the ship. It's literally the hauler, and you just control it with WASD. And there's little ice asteroids. You go up to them, you press spacebar, a little laser starts mining them or something like that. Even then you fly back. It could even be. Oh God, what's this guy? Oh, he drank the moonshine. That's funny. They call it toilet juice. That happens.
So what if you have like an area on your station, like around the core, and that's sort of like your base station,
right? And then somehow
then you have some kind of like marker or something. Like maybe there's like a ring around the station.
Right. I think I understand what you're getting. And essentially it undocks kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's what you have when you like go in the wilderness, and then when you come back it redocks and people come back like Starmancer, you're back, and everyone's like happy, and the crew that you took with you is back or something like that, Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, I mean that would be basically what I'm talking about, because then it'd be so easy to have.
The trade pod wouldn't exist, in the wilderness, for example.
Right, because that's external,
Yeah.
But again, I don't know, right? But yeah, definitely could be a thing.
No.
Because, yeah, I don't know. What if you just have like a separate ship somehow, though? That could be cool. If you have a ship and also the station, is that cool? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
What would it mean to have a separate ship?
So a ship and the station are both built the same way,
Oh,
with the same bits, but the ship is, has a clearly defined size. So you can kind of choose what you want to put in it. Like so you have that awareness at all times. Is like so your ship's like a separate screen or a separate thing, or your ship's just like next to the main thing or something. Like Space Haven basically.
Yeah.
Where it's got a separate thing.
Yeah.
And then you can upgrade it. You can put beds in there if you want to. You can put whatever. And then what you do is you pick up crew and drop them in the ship. When you want to leave, or you just have them context order them, go into them. And then when you go on a mission, you just fly the ship away, and then the ship goes away, just the ship, and the ship has a static size because you can't actually expand the hull. Maybe you can buy bigger ships, but again, you can't actually upgrade the hull. All you can do is place objects in it. Maybe you can place internal walls or something, customize your ship. But not positive.
And then you can place different engines and turrets and.
Right, and you're right, because that's the thing that goes out in the wilderness,
Yeah.
And then you come back to your main base, and then you have to worry about things like zombies on your main base, unless you bring them back or something, And then also when you come back to the main base, that's you gotta heal up your crew, what have you, Then you're like, oh no, we gotta go home because our crew has too much taking too much damage or something like that. And this would be a way that we could incorporate like sort of we've always wanted to incorporate like actually like going down to an ice asteroid. But we've never been able to figure out how it can fit in. And this could be possibly a way they could kind of fit in together.
Yeah, because it's limited in size.
Right. And you're using the same upgrade things in both ways. And so, like, for example, something you might do in your ship is put a bunch of storage bins. You want to spend all the storage bins on your ship so that we have more, literally more, like, storage capacity or something like that,
Yeah.
The starting ship could even be quite small.
And it could be a limited crew as well.
Right. Maybe there's a cryopod in there or something you need them to sleep in or something. So like that's what limits it.
Yeah.
So you have your main crew. Again, these are just ideas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But kind of fun. It would make you exist in the greater world.
Yeah.
I think it's worth exploring.
Like a separate sort of roguelike experience where you go down a rabbit hole and then you can just see how far you can push it.
Yeah.
Then you go back. Then you can adjust your ship. Try again.
Yeah. And also there's things like mining drones that don't really make sense, but on the ship they do make some sense, right? Like they could be literally the things that go out and do it. Being able to place external turrets or something. Be interesting on the ship maybe. So basically all the things that we want to do with a ship instead, like with a hauler, instead just do with literally like a base. Because you could design a ship, pretty easily.
Yeah.
With this, I mean, you could even, sort of kind of prototype it right quick.
Yeah.
Let's unlock everything. What does the ship even look like? Doesn't matter. We'll make like a basic, boring. Doesn't really matter. Here's a ship. I've made a ship. Right. And then it's got a nice airlock somewhere. I've already fucked up because I didn't make it. I should make it this way. Make it an odd number. Like so. Perhaps this is too big. Whatever though. Got a little airlock. And then, like this maybe. I'm making a beautiful ship. Look at my beautiful ship, dude. A little captain's area up here, dude. See? Plus, it's kind of fun to customize it,
Yeah.
So, there's my little captain's chair or something. Whatever. And then, well, it looks like thrusters. Nothing, probably. The thermal exchangers kind of look like a thruster or something. Let's light this bad boy. Also,
You can use oxygen emitters.
except I actually need oxygen emitters.
Maybe you can use lights.
Oh yeah, that's
They
good.
light up.
Yeah, lights don't work actually. See how very interesting. There'd be a lot of really interesting things you can kind of do. So, for example, do you put a treadmill in your ship, or do you just put batteries in your ship? You know, because once your batteries run out, maybe you have to go home, or do you put like an oil refinery in your ship because if it has limited space, there's these fun, maybe fun things that you can kind of do where you're like, okay, well, I want to take this space and put, because if every unit of floor space is valuable, then the player's really gonna start thinking like, okay, how do I cram this stuff in, in a more efficient way. Again, that's just an idea. Maybe it's not fun in practice. Maybe in practice like this is just annoying. Again, these are just sort of just ideas. But
No.
This is actually kind of fun. I should make people live in separate ships all the time. Just have ships around my base, little clusters of ships. Oh, that's so much better. Right, like Space Haven does it a really interesting way, where they have, and we're basically describing Space Haven a little bit, but not directly, not like deliberately, but it's just these are just things that are cool in sci-fi game, right? These are just cool things. Of course, it's cool to like go out, you have a little ship that goes out, and you have your main base, you have your main station, you have your separate station. It's like a typical sort of trope. Let's make it a purple ship.
Looks like a ball.
What's that?
Looks like a ball.
What looks like a ball?
Like a pill ball or something. Your ship.
Oh, my ship. Yeah, I didn't know what you. I was talking about like Space Haven ships. I'm like, I guess they kind of look like balls, sure, but they're 2D. They're flat 2D things. But anyway, it could be fun. Then you could have like a little area out here. Here's your ship. So you have like your little external little ship. Something you'd have to do as well is if you ever could capture prisoners, you have to build like a brig. So you'd like because again, let's say that you can't expand outside, but you can expand inside. So you'd be like, oh crap, where do I put my brig? So you place like a little brig, sort of. It's gonna be hard for me to place it.
On your ship.
Dude, I can't draw, so if you want me to make wings, that's not gonna happen. I promise you, Victor, it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to make those things. I'm making my brig, dude. With a bulky
like a
door.
ship you can think of, like the Enterprise, maybe.
I don't know. I guess I just make dope ships, dude. What can I say? I guess I make ships look like the USS Enterprise. All right, let's make this a little uglier inside here.
You could make thrusters by sort of building these like rectangles on each side and then connecting them with the external floors.
So Soldier says, this also reminds me of escape pods. So when your base is going down, maybe you can save some colonists from death. That's actually interesting.
Oh yeah, if you can completely lose the entire ship, that's interesting.
Actually, it's very interesting. And maybe you can, because it's like the ship. I don't know.
Yeah. Because you can return to your base, so it's not game over.
Right, but your ship might be gone forever. Oh my god, how'd this person die?
Is he a drunk doctor?
He burned up, it says. Oh gosh, it's so hot in this room. It's 38 degrees Celsius in here, dude. Oh my
that's
gosh.
Why they have the helmets on.
Let's put a thermal exchanger right here. Let's just put let's see how that. It's because they've been nonstop on the treadmill.
Yeah, they're sweating too much.
The treadmill does actually produce heat, so I swear to God, if this is a hot system, I'm gonna be screwed. I hope it's not. Place many thermal exchangers. I can afford it. What if I place one here as well? And here. So it'll cool off all of this.
That's because you have the machine center, I think.
Yeah. Should slowly start to decrease.
Could they complain about temperature when they have their helmets on?
Should they or do they? What'd you say?
No, should I? Because right now there's no feedback to the player that, you know, oh, that's hot. That room is too hot.
Right,
But
except for
there's a bunch
this.
of colonists in there, and you.
Like, except for the yeah, I'm saying just except for like the notification that pops up. Like, there's no other one. Like, there's nothing like in the room that there should be something in the. There's no lights in here still. They've literally been in the dark the whole time. I've never noticed. Oh, they're talking. Isn't that cute? Look at them. It's kind of fun. I like when they talk and have little conversations.
Yeah.
They all stop at the same time. It's kind of trippy. This room's so ugly now. Oh my god. Also, there's literally a dead guy that no one cares about. Does anybody like dead bodies? Which one likes dead bodies? Also, that guy's happy, so I'll never get to see that guy. Okay, well, I guess... Which one are you? Okay. I'm going to make him a gray shirt, and then I'll know that he's my corpse cleaner-upper. So we're going to... Don't eat the corpse! You send him again? I need the incinerator, too, won't I?
It's so bizarre when, like, everyone is upset because there's, like, a corpse somewhere. And then you have this one guy, and he's, like, super happy.
I love it, though. It's so funny to me. I think it's the funniest thing imaginable. That one guy is like, okay, I'm fine with this. Actually, I'm going to make this guy take the corpse and place the corpse and start the incinerator and then place the head and then you'll be good.
Yeah, I kept stacking a bunch of corpses in the incinerator. I thought like, well, as long as they're in there, no one's gonna see them.
Where's he going? I think he didn't, for whatever reason, he decided to start doing work, I think, instead. He did a work task.
Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes you order them to do something and then they just don't do it.
Like, I don't care. I don't
do
want to.
something else instead. Yeah.
And I think they'll never, maybe eventually they'll get to the queue. I'm not sure. What's this, scrap? I'm about to get some money. Oh, but I'm cheated anyway. I can't help myself. I still got back to my main station. I still was like, let's go back to the main station, see what's happening here. Huh. There could even be like a totally different HUD when you're on your ship, by the way. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you can't build.
Although maybe you can, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe you can. I don't know, you know?
It's kind of interesting if you can't, because that places some interesting limit to it, where the player can't, you know, cheese things.
Well, I think there's something interesting if, like, let's just say that you're on your ship and you have to build a brig. I think it's better if you have the like ability to do that, as opposed to like, oh, I can't build a brig, so I can't get that prisoner. So, oh well, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying if it's like roguelike a little bit, and there's opportunities that the player sees in the in the wilderness, but they can't do them because they simply didn't know that they were supposed to build like a brig. That sounds kind of annoying, doesn't it? Like frustrating, rather, where it's like, well, I didn't know, and then they just have to hope. So basically, like every time they see an opportunity for the first time, they are gonna miss it, you know, because they didn't know. You know, if they're a new player, I'm saying, if they're a new player, they're not gonna know that they're supposed to build like a brig is even possible. They're supposed to build one. So I feel like if you can build on the ship, it's a little better, but only because of that reason. That like, in what ways could you cheese it? You said you could cheese it. What ways do you think you could cheese it?
You know, by deleting floors, deleting walls, stuff like that. Like if there's a fire, for example.
That might be okay. You know, because fire is already pretty easy. Also, fire on a ship is much more interesting. And also, imagine one of those fucking alien probes on your ship would be so terrifying because it's so tiny, the space, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty much all random events are actually much more fun on the ship then, because they can be much more damaging to the ship. Because it's just the ship, you know. And then it limps back into port, you know, with fire everywhere or something, you know. Like, you definitely shouldn't be able to pick up your colonists, I think, once you're on the ship, you know. Like, once you're in the wilderness, like, certain things should be lost, inaccessible to you. Like, picking up colonists, for example, should not be a thing you can do.
Oh, you should have, like, a miniature core or something, so...
Yeah, I've been thinking that. It should be like, let me just find, like, a random cosmetic that might represent it. Where are all the cosmetics?
Robot head or something.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, but I always forget where it is. It's in a weird section, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the pumpkin, I think.
Yeah. because look with like the plushies.
Yeah.
But it could be some combination of like the hollow display,
Mm.
maybe the cat head. You know, it's sort of fun. Also, cat should have a physical avatar like that. It's sort of fun. Look, a little physical.
Oh, yeah.
There
Yeah, what if cat goes on the empty space on the corner?
That'd be kind of fun, maybe. Treasure just sold. Treasure just sold. Treasure just sold. Can I finally build my Jenny? Oh, well, that worked pretty fast. Almost too fast. Now every room is freezing. Let me shut all these down. Shut these down. Shut these down. I got a little carried away. I think what was happening is that the treadmills are still on, maybe, or something. Oh, I bet that's what it is. I bet this placement's bad. I bet the treadmill generates power on one of these floors real close to it, and it could be the same floor. Maybe it looked like it wasn't working, but it was working, and then who knows? It'll warm up. It'll warm up slowly, by the way. What were we at again? Oh, yeah, something about the ships. But the ship could be interesting. I don't know how you would get ice, but somehow, do you WASD control your ship? Do you can your ship move a little bit? That could actually be really fun if it could move somehow. Or is it Space Haven style? Because Space Haven is basically is just a ship. Your station's a ship, and then your guys go on little shuttles to go, to the. But then things like asteroids, they don't go to asteroids. It's like the ship just flies through it, right? Just the ship stuff. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like you don't walk. I'm saying like you don't walk around on them, right? You just also like oh man, like how cool is this? Like, do you put a toilet on your ship if you don't? They're gonna poop on the floor. You know, that's sort of fun. There's some fun stuff about like that. You know.
Yeah.
And if you have limited space, you really have to decide like, okay, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
you need some kind of way to like jettison stuff. So if you have like a bunch of poop, you would just flush it into space.
right.
Bring it back.
An incinerator, maybe you'd have to build an incinerator or something. You know.
Yeah.
Because we already have an incinerator, I'm saying, so it'd be like an incinerator or something, something like that. That it can maybe an object.
Yeah, but that takes a lot of power.
Yeah. That's interesting though.
Yeah.
And your ship should probably have a source of power anyway, for things like that. You could also make someone eat it if you really want to.
Yeah. I feel like that would possibly be more detrimental to their health.
Yeah, screw their health.
Have a dedicated eater and then give them mental stabilizers every now and then.
I've always wanted the mining drone to be some kind of motorcycle they can ride. I've always wanted that. That's what it should be, right? That'd be really interesting. So they like hop on they hop on it, and then if I drop him, but he just fell. It's like plummeted like immediately, and I was like, "Oops, my bad, dude." Gosh. Why can this light not line of sight to right here? Is this door or something block the line of sight? Maybe. Weird. But anyway, it'd be very cool if they just could hop in this ship.
Yeah.
That is something you could totally have in our base in Starmancer. Maybe you have a drilling section built in your base, and if you land directly on an asteroid, you can get more resources of sending crew or shuttle there. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And it'd be on top, so it'd be like below. So kind of like where the laser beam goes down, the asteroid would be like kind of maybe just directly below it, or maybe just maybe you literally landed on top of it, and there's floors outside.
Yeah.
But see, again, floors outside is hard because you can have any random size you want. It'd be interesting maybe if you had this limited capacity with the ship.
Yeah.
Also very interesting if like when your crew goes crazy and you can't context order them anymore, it becomes much more interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What if we just redesign the entire game so it's like you don't even have a station anymore, you just have a ship that you fly around in?
Oh my god.
That'd be so funny. I'm only saying that because it's like, oh wow, so many more things. So many things are interesting when you constrain the player. You know, when you force them to have like a smaller thing.
Yeah.
They can't just like ignore all the things. They can't just like assemble all these things out of control. That would be interesting though. So it'd be just for resource acquisition. Essentially, you'd be going to the wilderness.
Yeah.
Losing contact with crew members, having to rescue them, would create interesting situations for sure. That's actually really cool. As an idea, it'd be kind of maybe hard to implement, but it'd be really interesting if like you lose contact with a ship and then you spawn back at your base, but your crew's gone. You know.
Yeah.
But then later somehow you can rescue them, or maybe they come back but they're crazy, they're cannibals or something. You know.
Yeah.
They're like, you've left me. I know how hard it would be to. What if you could have like special external walls that are like rounded, maybe? Because then it could look more shipish. But I don't know. Because what you'd need is something that's like, maybe you could just be fine if there was like a 1x1 wall even. Because right now the walls are all 2x2. Maybe if you just made a 1x1 wall, maybe that would it'd have to tile set connect though.
Yeah.
Actually, so maybe not. Maybe you can.
I mean, I made like a mock-up of diagonal walls before.
Wouldn't it have to tile set connect with all the. So with what I'm looking at right now, there's 3 walls, and a corner would have to tile set connect all 3 of them, wouldn't it? Because this internal one would have to change because of the corner, as the corner connects, and then the sides obviously have to change because they need to look like a corner. Unless you can make the corner in a way where it just gets placed like sort of on top and just kind of renders on top or something, so it blocks all that stuff. So the other things don't have to change, maybe, you know. I don't know if that's possible.
The way I designed it was just the current corners would just be cut off. If you mouse over a corner, it will be cut down the middle diagonally.
I'm getting like some lag from you, but I don't know if it's me or if it's you. Let me check out my speed test. Oh my god. My internet at city office is so bad. Then when I do a speed test, like I'll do a speed test, and if I'm getting lucky, I'm getting 40. Usually I'm getting like 5, and then I did a speed test here, and I was getting 445 megabits per second. I don't have gig internet because it's really expensive, but I have like pretty fast internet. What were we talking about? I totally forgot.
The diagonal walls.
Oh, diagonals, yeah. So what about it? So you're saying you're just hiding the walls or something instead?
I mean, I can show you sort of...
Go inside, punk. Why is this not livable? Yeah, show me. Yeah.
It's, if you have Blender, you can even look at it.
I don't have... Well, I must have it installed because you have to have it installed.
Yeah.
Jenny. Oh, I can finally have a generator. Oh, please give me a generator. Now let's see if fuel can go directly in here. I hope it can. Hey, Electro Jelly. Oh, stop selling fuel though, dudes. Oh god.
I know the jellies are gonna be so annoying now.
Oh yeah. But much more deserving of snatching them early game, you know? Which is, in a way, sort of, could be fun though. Because then you're like, oh, like, early game you have to kill them, but late game, you know, maybe you can kind of do something with them. Alright. Corner. Let me see what I'm looking at here. I should orient myself slightly. I'll corn her. Let me open original as well for these fine folks. So these fine folks can see what I'm looking at, which is this corner wall right here. See? So Victor's talking about this, and it looks like there'd be a wall here in this corner, and it would just go on top of it or something. Wouldn't it Z-fight? Or maybe it looks the exact same, but wouldn't it Z-fight with it or something? And then the side has to change as well. Oops.
No, it wouldn't. Safe height.
Because it just doesn't have anything there. It's literally transparent. It's nothing. Is that the idea?
The floors would need to change as well.
I mean, I can't see specifically where it would. You know, there's some of the. I can't. I don't have it. I can't see in that great of detail on where the corner actually ends. You know, and where it doesn't end.
Yeah.
But it looks like for sure the two corner pieces have to visually toss that connect. Unless they're just becoming the corner pieces, but they still have to visually toss that connect. Are they just becoming corner pieces? Is that what that is in this mock-up? That's interesting. That looks okay.
You could actually go to the scene view and just change the mesh of the corner and see what happens.
Would have to place a corner, right?
No, you could take like an existing corner and just
change it to what?
To the one that's diagonal.
But I have to place a wall here and then move it there or something. So they have to take an existing wall and move it into place or something for the piece to be there, right?
No.
Like I can't just change the mesh because it wouldn't look. It wouldn't have the right position or anything. So what's it called? Wall corner or something?
No, not that one. The outer corner is not the inner.
Well, it doesn't matter which one I change the mesh. Which mesh I change because the position isn't going to be just magically correct, right? Like. So
yeah, but it's not going to be correct at all if you use an inner corner.
I guess I'm confused. So just how much do you want me to change? And also what it's called.
It's called like wall ext.
Yeah, but which wall
alt.
piece? But which wall piece do you want me to change? I don't know which one you want me to change.
Just change one of them, and then.
Well, I selected one. You didn't like that one.
Hide.
So like, is this one that I selected good now?
But you selected because you selected like the inner.
But I need these two to be something else. And
but that's an entirely separate.
What do you want me to change it to now?
Wall ext c alt. You can just type alt ext wall.
Okay, so I've changed it, but now what? Now I'm gonna have to reposition it though, right? Like it's not in the right spot or nothing.
You just have to disable the other wall.
What wall? See, there's a lot of stuff, man. You're not telling me. I don't know what to do here. What wall do I have to disable?
The other piece, because you selected one of the pieces, and now one piece is like poking out. So you just have to click that.
It's not
and disable it. And then the floor.
Well, I can't. Well, the floor doesn't matter for the demonstration purposes. Yeah. I still don't know if this will not Z-fight. It's hard to see with this corner.
There's not really anything to Z-fight with.
Well, with the corner that I was describing, because the corners require 3 walls, but in your mock-ups you have 2. Well, then they don't require. I guess they don't require 3, but they will often have 3.
Yeah.
But it's still, at a minimum, must visually toss that with 2 of the pieces.
Yeah.
And forces them to change, and possibly changes this one corner as well. But it has to be a completely different piece that's just called, like, corner wall or something. And you'd place it as, like, a corner wall or something, like, deliberately or something like that.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, what else could it be? Because it couldn't just be a wall, because walls are 2x2. And the corner is not 2x2. The corner is, like,
Well, could it be all
2x1 or something like that.
Be cut off.
What's that?
Like all the external corners could.
What is a corner? Like if you had, I'm saying if you had to define a corner, like what is a corner?
Any 90-degree angle.
So like this is a corner. No, not this one, of course. Not this 90-degree angle. It has to be a 90-degree angle in such a way that, like an inner 90-degree angle or something, right? As opposed to an external 90-degree angle, right? Like there'd be a corner here and 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 here, here and here, right?
Only the outer corners.
Why not the inner corners though? How are those not corners?
Because they can't be cut off like that because the
But I mean, like, what's the rules of what's a corner is what I'm asking. Because you say like automatically, okay, but like, what's the rules for a corner?
well, there's already like a rule for how the current corners are placed, right?
I don't know, maybe.
They use very specific pieces.
But it's an inner piece. It's like the corners are like this piece, the piece that was not even used in before. When you had me change this to one mesh, you said don't even worry about that the actual corner. So like those rules wouldn't necessarily reflect it. So like, what is a corner? Like, it's easy to say in your head. I know, like, oh, just make another corner. But like, what is a corner? That's what I'm asking. I know what a corner. I know like I know the geometric definition of a corner, but I'm saying in Starmancer, what walls would you specifically change? You know, is it like these inner
Something
ones?
like-
Why isn't it these inner ones? I guess like why don't these ones get changed? Why is it only the outer ones? Because like this is the same exact rule set. I mean, I can see it. Like it's the same piece in this corner versus this corner. They're like the same exact corner. How does it know that it shouldn't change this one, but it should change the other one?
Well, the inner corners use a completely different mesh.
These look like the same mesh.
No, if you look at the inner corners, you can see they're like cut off, and the outer corners aren't cut off.
I don't know if you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about, because I'm mousing over a corner and then a corner, and it looks to be the exact same corner piece. It's the exact same situation.
You're looking at the inner corners only.
What's an outer corner?
That's where two.
That's what I'm
That's
asking.
like the
I don't know what you're
opposite.
talking about, man.
It's like a 90-degree angle, but
Like
the opposite way.
this 90-degree angle? So that's why I don't understand what you're getting at here.
Yeah, that one.
Why would that one be removed? That seems like a corner piece that like makes sense to have sometimes.
I mean, it would only be for,
Because then you could,
external.
like, how could you ever make a rectangle shape? You couldn't make a rectangle shape ever then, right?
No.
Which seems sort of weird.
You'd have like a rounded.
That seems strange. It
rectangle.
just doesn't seem like usually you want,
Well,
like sometimes you want to
if you
make
look
one.
at like
Uh-huh.
Space Haven, that's what they do. They only do it for like the external ones.
Weird. Just seems to me that you deliberately want to make a corner. You wouldn't just want any, like you never, because you could never make like a box room again. Literally every room would just all of a sudden just be rounded. And
Yeah.
just seems like, why would you do that? I guess, like, what's it solving?
Well, you could also do it in a different way where you need like if you make like a staircase sort of thing, then it gets rounded. But if you only make like one corner, it doesn't. That might be what they're doing in Space Haven.
Maybe. But it seems like sometimes, like, a box, like, makes sense as a shape. It's like, it's a standard, like...
But if you're making like a
shape.
staircase-looking shape, then most of the time you don't want it to look like a staircase.
Wouldn't it be better if it was just a specific object the player has to place, though? And then they can worry about it, and I don't have to worry about it? So, like, I just made, like, a stair shape. Sort of like a... I believe, you know, what you're describing, right? Because you're like...
Yeah.
But, I mean, sometimes... Yeah. And then you'd fill in these gaps here. Like, it's hard for you to see. You have a slight delay, but you'd fill in, like, this gap, this gap, this gap, this gap, this gap, this gap.
Yeah.
And put, you know, kind of like a little...
But only really
just
on
there.
the outside.
Right.
And also
But you wouldn't... But, like, not to interrupt you, but, like, because there's a back corner as well, but it seems like it'd be weird if you placed... Without the user wanting to, at least. It seems like it's not as clear of a candidate. Like, oh, yeah, make this a corner where I've selected here would be a corner, and then also this would be a corner as well. These two would be corners. Because then everything just gets rounded all of a sudden. You know?
Yeah. And you couldn't like place things normally on those corners either.
You can
like
do
if
it.
If you wanted to place something like a light or poster or something.
Yeah, you lose that access to.
That
Yeah, that's
wouldn't
another
work.
good. I guess that is a good point too. Why it should be sort of explicit or something maybe. It just seems like sometimes you want 90 degrees, sometimes you don't. And also automated rules always make things way more complicated than they need to be. Whereas if it's something that the player has to, maybe sometimes it's necessary, but like if the more mental burden you can put on the player, the less it has to be implemented as rules in the game, and then there's less points of failure.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's a thing that's, you know, in this case, maybe it would be okay if this corner's around it. I don't know. Like maybe it'd be fine, right? Maybe it'd be totally fine. Although I still don't really want to do it because, like losing the walls, you couldn't place like the lights on the walls like you were saying, so you had to make like a different wall thing, and it'd be a lot of work. And then, okay, here's another example, or another thing, right? If it was automated, what happens if you had, like, let's say you place like a wall sink on that corner, you know, but it wasn't a corner at the time; it was just all on its own, and then you wanted to extend it, and you made it, you know. So I'll go slow a little bit, so I'll just literally just do this, and I'm about to place a wall sink on this wall, okay, and then I would make it a corner, and then all of a sudden it would become a different piece, but the wall's there, so then you couldn't place the wall on top, or the sink would get removed or something. Do you get kind of what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's sort of like there's those weirdnesses all of a sudden that you'd have to start introducing. Which is why if it can just be something the player has to manually place, and then because then it can have like more complicated rules, they can say, like, oh, there's a sink there, you can't do it, and they're like, oh, okay, let me move the sink or something, and then, you know, we don't have to have all these these you know, we're not creating as many problems that have to get solved.
Yeah.
Get off the treadmills. Is this not connected to anything? Does it not have fuel? Does it have fuel? Doing some chemistry? What are you making right now, punk? Don't make that. Instead, can you make fuel? I want to see if the fuel goes right into the fuel tank. I hope it does. But I don't know if it will. It did. That's cool. That's very, very cool that happens. That's cool. That's cool. But for the ships, I feel like we would need corner pieces because it's not going to look that cool without it, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least it's maybe not. Maybe it could be fine. But I don't know.
Also have, you know, purely decorative pieces like wings.
Couldn't we have wings possibly anyway as objects or something maybe? Because if they're placed on the outside the ships, they could just be meshes or something.
Yeah.
Possibly. But I don't know. I don't know. I was just saying possibly. It seems like it'd be better to create a system that where you can customize both your actual station and your ship. That was probably better.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to being like, oh, just making a mesh, you know? Like, it's probably better if it can... So the players go on ships. What does that look like? So then presumably is it a little bit like, maybe not quite like Space Haven. So I want to think of it more of as that you go into the wilderness, right? Space Haven's like you're kind of with the wild. You're always on the ship or whatever. But because you wouldn't have, I don't think you'd have a star map anymore if the player wanted ships, and then because I don't think you'd click on like, you know, mine ice asteroid, and then they would just sit on their ship, and then they would off screen. Do you know what I mean? Like it'd be boring if your colonists literally just did missions the same way they do now on your ship, because you'd have less stuff to look at.
Yeah.
So then that would suggest that maybe the ice asteroids are near the ship or something, because the ship's small. If it's a finite size, it's pretty easy to to put stuff around it. It's got a certain shape about it. It's not a big deal, as opposed to the player's base, which can be, you know, any crazy ass, you know, thing.
Yeah, they would probably be much more interesting if the colonies moved around in the world. And
the thing is, like, whenever a player warps in your system, you could always just place like the ice asteroid chunks of stuff right along the edges, close to the walls as you want. But then they can't expand there. So there's those weird things, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Because there's an ice asteroid in the way, you know, until they mine it out or something.
Yeah. But should they be expanding their ship while they're...
No, they wouldn't be. You can't expand your ship. What I was saying was you could, in the current system with the station, you could still have stuff that spawns near the station, because it doesn't matter what size the player's ship is, because you just sort of at runtime sort of place just things near the the station, the edge of the station. You could just place them wherever, and then they could just get them. But then they can't expand there. I guess there's some minor things like that, you know. And then also like the max, like how much stuff spawns is kind of a thing that has to get decided too, you know. Like how far do you zoom out that you still see stuff? I think Space Haven does a thing where when you zoom out, you actually just sort of go to a different screen, and then you go to like the sort of like their star map, and from there you select things, and there isn't like a real physical thing. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Can you just like take the screen, the camera, don't zoom out? Can you then eventually pan the camera to everything, or
Yeah.
you know, I just didn't know if you could or not.
And you see the dudes like flying there in their
That's pretty fun.
shuttles.
And they physically fly, and you can follow them. Like you just pan the camera.
Yeah,
And that's fun. And then it's just sort of off screen, but it's not that far off screen, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like physically there. That's interesting.
And if like another ship comes, like pirates, and they come try
Right.
to board you, you can see like their shuttle flying towards you.
Which is that's fun too, right? Because you're like,
Yeah.
because you can see it. Yeah.
So now that you have a generator, did it solve like all the power issues?
It should once they get off this battery. Oh, I see this freaking electro jelly. I would think. I don't know how much power this thing produces. Provides 10. So these things provide 1. This one provides 10. So it should be significantly better. I don't know why they're still on the treadmills. They should go until it's full though. I guess that's probably why. It should be full very soon though. Then they should all get off together. Or they're just not going to. They're just never going to get off. Is there a minimum amount of time they're on the treadmill for? I doubt it. I doubt there's a minimum because I've seen them get on and off very fast. Is it because there's just 3 power? Is it because it's like something about what this thing is generating or consuming and stuff is just enough that they don't want to get off? Because right now they wouldn't get back on the treadmill, but they're staying on it.
Yeah.
Unless there's something that I don't quite
You delete a battery.
see.
What happens?
If I delete this battery, well, I don't know because this thing's going to keep consuming power. So I don't know. But I suspect that what's happening is they're trying to stay here until it gets full, and it's never going to get it full because this thing because I think what's happening is they generate power, and then this thing consumes power, and then they check is the battery full, and the battery will never be full because this thing keeps consuming power. You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, that makes sense most of the time.
Yeah.
It only doesn't make sense when... see, now they're off it, so I wonder if there was a minimum timer or something like that was going on. I don't know, because they're all off it now. They all go off at the same time. So
Or a maximum.
there is a max time, but I doubt that they all start at literally the exact same time because they all got off at the exact same time. And that would only happen... There is a max timer, there is. But that would only happen if they all got on at the exact same time. So probably still, whatever condition is set up, I don't know what it is. You know?
Yeah.
The hell was that?
It's like they barely even contributed anything worthwhile compared to the generators.
Right. But again, I think that's what it is, though, is that there's maybe a minimum time. I know there's not much of a minimum time, but maybe there's some combination where there is. I don't know. You know. I keep seeing movement on my webcam from my colonist walking around. I keep thinking it was like a ghost or something. Cool. So we got this. We're good. Back to the ship. I mean, the ship could, again, perhaps be an unnecessary step, but it's kind of fun, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then you can go on expeditions, you know, and it gives you a different game mode. And then the main space can be paused or something while you're not there, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, like, nothing goes on. Or not pause. Doesn't even, maybe you can toggle back and forth. I don't know, but probably paused because then you go out and get resources. But still, I don't know. Maybe. Because what's stopping our regular... Because, I mean, the things that we have to implement for the ship to work, at a minimum, you'd have to implement well, not a minimum, but to really to do it fun, you have to implement a system where your colonists can sort of board shuttles, and then somehow mine ice asteroids, right? And you can see them do it, and that system could still be used on your main base. It doesn't have to exclusively be this little thing. But then again, the bigger purpose of the ship is to have a wilderness, and then to have a safe place, and then you go back to the safe place to sell all your goods. That's kind of the thing. But then again, you could have that no matter what, because you could just warp the whole base to the wilderness,
Yeah.
and then come back. You can still sort of have that, and so I don't know. It gives the ship a necessary part to that fun. I don't know. Is it? Is it though? I don't know. What if you have like a shuttle level? It's like just the lower level. It's just a shuttle level. Could there be something interesting there? I don't know.
Well,
Because then you always have a space below you, and it's got like that's what the ship
yeah.
is or something, and maybe it's only for maintenance access or something. Could be fun.
Yeah. And then it just drops down when the ship leaves.
I don't know. Lots of things, lots of decisions. I would really love to do an asteroid system though, where I can, we can have like procedural terrain. That would be really fun, but maybe unnecessary. I think we could still kind of have that, because you could have like an ice asteroid that's sort of I don't know, over here or something, and looks like a little ball or something, right? There's my beautiful fucked up little ball. And then, sort of, it'd have to be bigger though. It'd have to be like, had to be big, like a certain size to have a pattern that you could see.
And it would look a lot more natural with diagonals.
The well, diagonals with floors would be different. Diagonals for walls would be a separate thing, or rather, it's not like a thing that one automatically is. If the generation of the asteroid was a ground level where the crew can walk on it, it could work. That's sort of interesting. Like, as in it's right
like
beneath
the
station,
hovered above,
like literally right above it. Yeah, it's like just slightly below or something, and then it would kind of expand out. I don't know what it would look like. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, it would still be like they somehow take a shuttle, and then like the shuttles, and then they take the shuttle to the station, the asteroid, and then it's somehow a different thing,
Or it's like an elevator, or they beam down
right
with the laser beam.
But my point is it necessary that it's actually that it's physically under the station? I don't know, right? Because no matter what, they have to go. I mean, in the way the player can see,
Yeah.
Like a player can see, it's like, oh, it's right there, and then they can like, oh, there it is. I can see it at all times. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
I mean, the most fun thing for sure is if you have a little crew. Where's my dude? Oh, he's sleeping. And they take a ship. It takes them to the ice asteroid somehow, and then there's little nodes that they have to mine out. That, of course, is always the most fun, probably, right?
Yeah.
So little nodes. These are my little nodes, and then you click on a guy, and then you're like mine, and then there's also like a zombie or something that spawns on it randomly or something. So you're like, oh no, there's space zombies here, so I better be careful. Don't want the space zombies to see my dude.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this guy's just sleeping in a chair, surrounded by zombies. So we're gonna pick him up and move him. But again, is the ship necessary for that? I don't know. It's not. But a shuttle would be, mind you. A shuttle is necessary, but I don't know. Also, there's a thing too. If resource acquisition is more interesting, it doesn't necessarily mean that the game is more interesting. because if it's like what the purpose of what you're doing with the resources is still matters, you know.
Yeah.
It's artificially more fun because acquiring the resources is more fun, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
There's
also
like
and
the
that's also part of the
driving
game, you know.
motivation
But right.
behind that, yeah, also matters.
Like, but in some ways, it's almost like, you know, if you took like Grand Theft Auto, like imagine Grand Theft Auto if you couldn't drive a car. If instead it just teleported you from one mission to the next mission, and then it got you to the point where you're, you know, shooting with a gun or something, and then you're like, well, yeah, driving is certainly that much more fun because the mission should be the fun part, right? And so sometimes you can lose sight of it too if you focus too much on what you think is the main purpose of the thing, you know, because it's all together a part of the whole experience, you know, the fun. But I don't know. But it's like you want to avoid a situation where like we spent all this time making the resource acquisition like really fun, and then you know the players get the resources and they're like, okay, it still sucks though. Like the game still sucks. Like it's like I'm so bored. Like I have this, like it's cool. Like yeah, it's fun to get ice, but there's no purpose of ice. So what am I doing? You know, like you want to avoid those situations. Is what I'm trying to say. Is that risk? They're like, oh god. And then like, would it be better to just improve the purpose of the resources in general, where because right now the rabbit hole activities, right? Where it's like basically like you just press a button and get ice, right? And then eventually it would be better if you don't just press a button to get ice. Instead, you have to actually do something to get ice. And right now it's kind of stubbed in where it's just I'll just press a button, get ice until it gets implemented, you know?
Yeah.
Look at him thinking about power. But definitely if the players have more consideration of do I want this ore, it's more interesting, you know? Yeah. And what I love about the ship, by the way, like actually making a ship, is that you can really customize like how much cargo space you have, you know?
Yeah.
And actually, you know, I don't know, that's very interesting to me.
And it starts to really matter like what you put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so
right. Because then you would literally go to the wilderness until you can't, like until you know what I mean, until like you physically don't have any more inventory space or something like that, and then you're gonna go home. And then once you're home, then your crew has to offload all the stuff that you know that you did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also it's another good point, right? Do I want my ship to be faster or do I want more cargo space? And maybe there's even something in there, right? Where it's like the more stuff you have, maybe it adds more mass or something. Yeah. Or maybe something simple, like there's an object that you can place in the ship, like a thruster. You can place like a thruster in the ship, you know? And it's like, oh, do I want the space for cargo space or do I want the space for the ship?
Yeah. Maybe you want like a shield.
Right.
Maybe you want like radar.
Right. Let's say there's a shield generator or something. Let's say there's a radar, right? What have you, right? Just it's fun when there's these decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
For the space, or can be. Sometimes it's just annoying, right? Where it's like I need all of them, but. Aw. Online strips without clothing. Aw. That's fun.
What about online strips with clothing?
I don't know. Is like, does it start without clothing? This guy, this bot comes in here all the time. He's like, given the subject matter of Starmancer, this should be the stream that bots watch. If they can't watch this stream, what stream can they watch?
But can you even have stripping without clothes?
No.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. But sometimes maybe you just strip down to underwear and we're like, we don't want that. And then loveface.xyz, he lets you know, this bot lets you know, listen, we don't stop at underwear. We take all of it off. And he wants you to know that. Like Deja Vu near my house, it says we're a bottomless strip club, which means, take off their bottoms.
I'm sure it's not some kind of Rick and Morty-esque where they strip their skin or something weird.
Like with potato peelers or something, you mean? I don't think so. But I don't know. I've never gone. You should click on the link and let me know. Why don't you do some research, Victor, and let us know if there's people getting skinned with potato peelers. And if there are, I kind of want to see it. So let me know if there is. Because I've never seen that before.
What other ways could you strip without clothing? Like you could have... I think that doesn't count as clothing.
You could strip copper wires or something. Like you can strip things like that, So a different sense of the word strip, Yeah. So you're stripping wires or something. It's just a man working in like a workshop. But he's naked. He's naked, he's completely naked, and he's stripping wires.
Yeah.
But again, is the ship necessary? Is it really necessary though?
It's not really that sort of limiting part, and the fact that you can have some very specific
right
sort of usage,
which is kind of fun.
Objects.
You know,
Oh.
it's kind of fun to just have your ship, and then your ship is like you can customize the ship as well, and you have your base that you can customize, and you know your base does things and your ship does things, and yeah, maybe.
But you could just imagine also that it's just the entire station, and then maybe in the future
Right.
we add a ship, and then the ship can specifically be used for, you know, attacking other ships or something like that, like attacking pirate bases or.
Right, because like
ship
when you
fire.
look at like your station, it's so big, it's so bulky, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird to like
Yeah.
bring it in, you know, to like bring it
Yeah.
into like an asteroid or something. It's so massive, and then you can still have ice asteroids that spawn around. You take a shuttle to get to the ice asteroids. You take a shuttle back. They unload it. They do all those. All that stuff can
Yeah.
stay the same. To be honest, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So then, is warping with your station or with the ship, which is, I mean, obviously the ship is of course more interesting, but it's the implementation time that I'm really thinking about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
of course it's more interesting if like there's a separate screen, then you just have your little ship. You plop your crew in. You click a button, say activate the ship or something. You click the map and say go to the wilderness, right? Go to the ice asteroid wilderness, something like that, and then it goes pew, and it flies away or something like that, which is really fun to watch. And then you know the thing lands, and then you're like, where am I? Right? Where am I? And then you see all this, some ice around you. You see some stuff that has zombies on it. You see like some other stuff. Hey, look, speaking of zombies.
Like FTL style gameplay.
I was thinking like the comicalness of like if we actually implemented FTL. Like, what let's make FTL. We'll just
Yeah.
put that in real quick. It's just there's something about the station that's so bulky. It just makes it weird to transport it around, you know. But maybe that's our fault. Maybe it's because we're just incentivizing the players to make ships that are too big, you know, stations that are too big or something. It'd be kind of interesting if the players had to like land their station. Like if they had like to select like a landing zone, they could see like where do you want to land or something. Maybe that could be something there. And then as it gets bigger, like they don't have any usable landing zones. They have to like go on the outskirts of all the ice asteroids or something, you know.
Yeah.
This guy's just bobbing his head, just bobbing and punching, bobbing and punching. Who are you? You're nobody important. You're my doctor. How do you even have doctor experience? Maybe from harvesting people? That's probably it. Oh yeah, I should probably show my bricks. Yeah. I gotta go soon. I'm going to a comedy show. It's about 2 hours away. I need to leave at about 4:30. It starts at 7:30, but you know, want to get there a little bit early so you can wait in line, you know, and do that fun part. Because I don't think we have like seats, like assigned seats or nothing. I think it's like sort of first come first serve situation.
Did you remove all the restrictions now?
I don't know. Michigan never. There was a little period where we had restrictions, but I don't think. Like the clubs might, like individual clubs can have any restrictions that they kind of want, you know, which I, and you know, philosophically, legally, and morally, I support that. If you own a business and you feel that it would be unethical for you to behave, I feel like you shouldn't be forced to operate your business in a way that you think is unethical, you know? Of course, I don't believe that all the way, because what if you think that it's unethical to serve like same-sex couples, right?
Yeah.
Well, it gets weird, doesn't it? It gets so weird immediately, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're like, well, actually, I don't believe that it's on your ethics, but I don't. It's almost like there's maybe it's more like there's like a certain level of strictness, and you have to obey the rules, but you can go stricter when you're on business if you want to. Something like that is what I believe, you know. So like for example, if there's like a health code regulation that says you have to wash your hands every hour, well, if you own a restaurant, you could make it so that they have to wash their hands every 30 minutes. Like, you know, I believe you should be able to do that, you know. But you shouldn't be able to have a business where you don't wash hands.
Yeah.
So there's like something.
What if that's like a thing people want to buy?
I know.
A
It gets very weird, doesn't it? Because you're like, well, Because maybe you want to be all natural, for example. Let's say that you don't want to have any chemicals, nothing like that, you know. And I'm still kind of like I don't get. I don't know. It gets weird, though, doesn't it?
You can still use soap. I mean, it's not...
No, what if you don't want to use any chemicals in your life, even soap? Like you just want to use all natural stuff, so you don't. You never wash your hands. You never shower.
Natural soap.
Soap's not natural. It can't be natural. No monkeys wash their hands. That's what I'm talking about. Natural in that way, like you only you're like a caveman style diet or something, caveman style life, where you're never using anything synthetic at all. You're only using so you never even shower, right? You never you let the water and stuff, but you'll never use shampoo. You'll never use soap. You never use deodorant. You don't even use a fork and knife.
Basically, just coal and fat.
What's that?
Isn't it just coal and fat?
What, soap? I don't know what soap is. I don't know what soap is made out of. I'm just saying you could be a person who says I don't want to, use that stuff in my body or something. I don't want to put anything, any sort of chemical. I don't want it, And there's no restaurant for that person.
Water could probably kill germs.
We'll allow that. Yeah, you can do salt water because you could swim in the ocean. A monkey could swim in the ocean, so we'll let that slide. And heat. You can use heat to kill germs as well. You can use UV ray. What if they use UV rays? Because you could use that to disinfect things, What if, though, right? What if? Why can't you do that? That's disinfecting.
You would probably burn your hands in the long run, and also salt water would be bad for your skin.
It's like the threshold. I bet the threshold for the generator turn on is much, much, much more extreme than the threshold for the colonists to use a treadmill, by the way.
Oh, I see. So the generator isn't turning on? Oh.
But that makes some sense. It's because you don't want to just turn on and use all that fuel or something. But the fuel could be changed so that it, lasts a certain amount of time. So it lasts for the generator being on. Let's say one fuel, the generator can be on for 12 hours or something. Whereas right now, it'll be on until it's, until it's not on anymore. But it's because the whole item production system was not designed by me, right? And so it's sort of annoying. But I don't have to use it for the generator. It's not really necessary. I could just use a custom solution for it. That's no problem. Really is no problem at all.
Have we found any bugs on this stream?
Maybe. At one point, a wall turned red and it shouldn't have.
Oh yeah, I need to report that because that's been happening a bit.
Yeah, it's hard to replicate though, right? You just get the reproduction steps because it doesn't happen all the time. It just happens sometimes. And also when you're placing objects, sometimes they're moving objects. Because what ends up happening is you'll place an object, and I'll kind of show you slowly. So I'll place like a sofa, and then it'll turn the other sofa red like it is now, and then I'll right click, and sometimes, and that's what happens. That's usually what it is. So for example, when I was placing the fuel tank, I think I had at some point somehow I created a situation in which the wall turned red, and then it never reverts itself somehow. That's that's what's happening. I think that's my suspicion about what's happening.
I thought it was from the delete tool, but it makes more sense that it would be,
Yeah. And I just don't know the situation. It's probably something like if the cursor isn't over it or there's probably just some weird, maybe if you press escape, maybe if you rotate it and then, something, maybe it's even if you move the camera. I don't know, you know what I mean? There could be weird, there could be all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. All it is there should be some check that's more aggressive. It honestly is what it should be. I just don't know what it is. And if we can replicate, it's very easy. It's much easier to be like, okay, cool, this is it. Because otherwise, are you sick or something? What did you get sick from? Oh, he's been eating poop. That's what.
Could it be something with the lighting?
No, he's been eating. No, I don't think so.
Like when the lighting in a room changes.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. But it could be. It could be. But I don't know. Because it does some material things there, so possibly. So the lighting is changing here, for example, right this second, and I should still be able to get it in time because I have the game paused. But then probably I want it to turn it off when the lighting's turned off or something like that. So he's going to walk through here. The light's going to turn off. We'll be able to replicate it in just one quick second. So while it's transitioning off, I'll right-click. But say it doesn't do it. But it could be. Yeah, it could be. That was a good suggestion. Maybe it is. I just don't know the reproduction steps. It is funny that he eats poop until he got sick. He's got different skin color. Look at him. He became an alien out on the ship. That's sort of fun. A little fun story. He goes on the ship like, what the hell happened to you, man? I don't want to talk about it. I've been out on the ship, dude. Immediately gets back to work. He doesn't care. Someone's taking liver damage, by the way. I wonder who. Kinsley Rowley. I just assumed it'd be an unhappy person. Why are you taking liver damage? Alcohol withdrawal. Alcohol. Oh my god. This little slut, dude. She drank the moonshine and became an alcoholic, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that forever ago.
Uh-huh. But that's the only alcohol in the station. Ever, I'm pretty sure. Good memories. They call it toilet juice. Time left 2 hours ago. 46 hours ago. And she's going through alcohol withdrawal right now. How did she take all that liver damage, dude? What did she do? What did she do to take all that liver damage? You take liver damage from alcohol withdrawal? Maybe, actually. You actually might from alcohol withdrawal.
Probably not, right?
Well, alcohol withdrawal damages the colonists, and it could be poison damage, and poison damage damages the liver.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Perk alcohol. Periodic damager. Damage type alcohol withdrawal. Okay. Okay, I guess that's just its own damage type. And let me see the liver. Alcohol withdrawal, 50% chance. Well, actually, that's not true. It's not 50% chance. It's a 50. It's a weighted relative. Its value is 50. So, looks like alcohol withdrawal will damage the liver. So, if someone is an alcoholic, you better keep feeding them alcohol, or healing up their liver. Because now they have no liver, and I don't know if it can get resurrected. I can't remember. There was at some point a bug where either if it was dead, it would never get resurrected, and they would stay in the healing booth forever. And I don't remember how I fixed it. Maybe it just stays dead forever.
That's fine. You should try it.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Because you have the healing booth.
Let's see what happens, Captain. Does she get resurrected? Looks like it got resurrected correctly. And she should step out. So it looks like they can resurrect dead organs. Which is, I'm fine with that, I think. Get the hell out of here, girl. Alright. Who is my sicko? Here's my sicko. It's so fun to have someone living on like their own little area, isn't it? It's so funny. They're just kind of like here.
Yeah.
Jim Kane is freezing. Jim Kane is unhappy. Shut up. Temperature too cold. Temperature too cold. Where's the heater? Heater. Thermal regulator. -3. Treadmills +1. So this will never generate enough power. Is that right? Put on your helmet. Why not? Why don't you? There. That's interesting. Object maintenance as well. That's actually such an interesting concept. If you have a separate ship and you would have to occasionally send your engineer on board to fix stuff or to perform maintenance. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? And maybe you want to have a mechanic on your ship or something when you go to the wilderness. If it was a thing. There's something interesting about that, you know? There's something interesting about, if you do not have a bed, or if you only have one bed, or having sleeping shifts or something like that. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because you'd really be forced to kind of get to know your crew a little bit better. Because you have a much more intimate kind of understanding of what they are, their perks, what have you. Sort of fun. And then you come back to the base and you process everything, and the whole processing back end that's already done. That's just the regular game. Maybe that's fun.
Is there any way to see right now if something needs maintenance, like the raw values?
I don't know. There's a maintenance interval, but I don't think it changes. I don't think there is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a way to say, hey, this thing hasn't had maintenance in X amount of hours. I don't think there's anything in the UI to show that to users. They can manually inspect them, but they.
Yeah. But I meant like a value. It's like, oh, it's 50.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, there's
10%.
nothing. Yeah, you can't see that. Hmm. Hmm. The ship. Hmm. So interesting.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Actually, we could just end the stream, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, people.
Yeah.
Patch 55 is on early access right now, and Victor says it's good to go on Monday. So according to Victor, it's good to go on Monday. So we'll probably push it Monday or Tuesday. I always say Monday or Tuesday because possibly Tom's not here. I don't know. It could be something because we got to like we got to put one on GOG, got to put it on Steam, then we got to put it on the Windows Store, and then we can't we actually can't like update the Steam build before we update like the Windows build, or vice versa. They all have to be at the same time, and then so it takes some time for the Windows build to go through, and not too long to be honest. Like literally, like usually it's like an hour or less. So, and so anyway, so Monday, Tuesday should be out, and then yeah, cool. I think that's it. That's it.